Okay, I'll give you a countdown. It's when I press yes on this text box here. So
wait, hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. I'll just do 3, 2, 1 and do it on 1, okay?
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Good luck.
Best of luck.
Okay, so first of all here, I'm doing a frame perfect A press. Before I did this frame perfect A press, I did a couple of rerolls in the battle now menu to determine which RNG seed I am on, or and found an Espion, which is the main, or the first main we'll be using for this run. And I rolled to the frame that, or to the RNG it exists on, and I have a set amount of stats that I go for with my Espion. And once I found that, I have to slot in the frame it exists on into a timer program and press frame perfect A press at 60 FPS on the set frame that Espion exists on. So that's what I tried to do right now, and hopefully I have hit that on a marathon. It's not really expected to hit it, so I do have backups in case I didn't hit it. But yeah, so you didn't get to see the beginning of the RNG manipulation itself, but yeah, so that is what I did right here. If anyone has any other comments, I guess if there are further explanations needed.
So the RNG manip actually only became possible a couple years back. Before it was just, random resetting, and you'd get a runnable-ish Espion, like maybe 1 out of every 30 tries or so. And now with manip, we can just hit something with God special attack and a good hidden power, and everything's good.
Sure is lovely to have started playing this game so late that I got to play around with the RNG manip before it, or got to play around with the RNG manip and didn't have to just sit and do countless resets in hopes of getting in runnable Espion. Instead, I get to press a frame perfect 8 press instead and have a way higher chance of actually getting a runnable Espion for the run.
Yeah,
Those are
big
fun
shout
times.
out. Sorry, go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, a big thank you to Alzalaro for actually figuring this out. Because it was, from what I've heard, a massive ordeal to figure.
Yeah. Praise Aldalaro.
Praise Aldalaro indeed. Put in so much effort for the community. But yeah, I'm just glad I didn't know this game before. I wish I'd been around longer, but hey, So, anyways, I did not hit the manip. I should have probably said that earlier, so I will need to. I will need to do a reset, unfortunately. So I was a frame late. So here in this first battle, we confusion with Espion, of course, and hopefully that kills. Yep, should be pretty decent chance to kill most things, as Espion is not too bad, but we might run into some issues, but it should be relatively fast. And then we also use Taunt with Embryon because it gives us a 50% chance of actually disabling the Zigzagoon's move, because Taunt makes you unable to use status moves, and I got the first Taunt there. We'll be using Taunt 3 times in this first early segment of the run, and, well, of course I missed that. But it's faster than bite animation, and because bite animation also involves taking damage, and you get the 50% instead of the 30% flinch chance that bite has.
Yeah, so normally the Espion that we manip is good enough to easily one-hit both of these and anything in the next couple fights as well, but with this not great special attack, we'll probably miss some ranges.
Yeah.
Might be
especially
an idea.
The Corphish.
It might be an idea to use Bite with Umbreon instead, just to confirm the kills.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, probably don't need it for coughing, but yeah, probably Corphish would be good.
Yeah. There's this Umbreon is quite solid. It's 30 special attack. Either way, so our character is Wes, who's well, you saw him at the beginning of the game. He blew up of the base of a team called Team Snag'em, which we unfortunately won't see too much of in this run. Although there are categories where you get to see them more often. And, well, he stole a snag machine, which we'll be showcasing later. But more importantly, he's or was a member of that team, and we'll get to hear more of that later on and why he did what he did. So yeah, that is just like a quick catching up with the story, and we're now in Fenac City, and we've spotted a mysterious couple of people with a bag that seems to be moving in and of itself. Curious.
I mean, ideally we wouldn't want to look in the bag, but we're gonna have to in a bit, unfortunately.
It is an unfortunate side effect of running this game.
Just imagine you don't look in the bag, and then we just don't get roped into this whole shadow Pokemon conspiracy, and, you know, we just kind of live on the lam forever.
Unfortunate. Would have, I mean, West would have probably still contributed to some sort of, considering he's still the snag machine for a reason, right? He would have, but hey. Maybe we wouldn't have been the World Savers after all. We don't know what motives he has for stealing it, I'm pretty sure.
Also, it is an interesting way to, like, effectively leave a team by exploding the entire base. Like, if you're gonna do it, go out with, like, I guess a bit of passion, I guess.
So now we're gonna open this sack and see what's inside. Would you look at that? This is Rui. She'll be our sidekick for the rest of this run. Unfortunately. She mostly contributes in a non-positive manner by wasting time in every battle, and also by, well, lagging behind you. But overall, she's like a useful character, but you don't get to know much about her. She just got kidnapped, and now she ended up here. That is all we know so far about her story, that is. And we say yes to her following us, and although it is meant to be temporary for now, it'll be like this for the rest of the game. Enjoy.
Woo.
Hooray!
Yeah, she likes to get in the way a bit. Just a bit.
It is pretty fun, though, since she has a perfectly solid hitbox. You can get her stuck in lots of places, and so occasionally you might get a few seconds of a solo adventure, but she'll always come back next time you, like, if you move too far away.
She's always by your side, although sometimes she gets lost.
This is the best part of the
Anyways,
run.
we're now talking to Escade, the mayor of this town. We were supposed to go to for help for this kidnapping case. And there is nothing conspicuous about this man at all. He's a completely normal mayor of this nice watery city, and he's gonna say yes to help us out and launch an investigation into the matters. And that is all he tells us for now. And maybe this is the last time you see him.
Yeah, I mean, seems like a stand-up citizen, to be fair. Like, nothing suspicious about him.
Same with that shady, not so shady looking guy that walked out, you know?
Completely normal. So we're just gonna go up here to the Colosseum and talk to the receptionist, and then we're gonna walk out again and we're gonna progress the story. So in this game there are actually several categories or several mains you can use. You can use for secondary mains at least. That is, there is Quilava, there is Bayleaf, and there is Croc. You can also run, for example, Umbreon, which is the second Pokemon we're using right now. That would be the No Snags run, which is a category or a main category on the leaderboard where you don't catch any mounts and you just use Quilava and Umbreon for the entirety of the game. Quilava is currently the fastest, with Croc being the second fastest and Bayleaf being the slowest. I believe Bayleaf's about 15 minutes or so slower, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, something like 12, 13 minutes right now. Oh, yeah, probably closer to 15 now that there's been a sub 330.
That record is quite solid, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we ran into these figures are probably a bit similar or a bit familiar if you watch the opening cutscene here. These are Team Snag. Oh, I actually hit the core fish. These are Team Snag, and they are the people we stole the Snag machine from, which is the equipment we're wearing on our arm. And they're trying to get it back from us. And of course I get the flinch here too.
You have
Nice.
a flinch strap.
Get the Corpus range and still get a flinch. Nice. I'm actually surprised I got that range on this special.
Yeah, that might be just being a really low roll on the Zigzagoon, or a really high roll on the Corphish.
Crit coughing in there would have been pretty nutty. So, now that they've been defeated and thoroughly humbled, they're just going to walk off for now. And with for now, I mean for the rest of the game. We're not going to encounter these guys anymore. Well, not the grunts, that is. If I was running all snags, which involves catching all the different shadow Pokemon, which I'll introduce later, that would involve me seeing these guys a lot, but unfortunately, that is not to be. That category is also quite a bit longer than any percent, so...
Just a bit. Just a bit.
Just a tiny bit. There's also a new route for it, or a fairly new route. Seems rather interesting, oh. Great.
That can happen sometimes. Just, you go just a bit too far in the menu, and then pressing cancel, you just gotta do it again. Nothing too bad, but...
Yeah, nothing too bad, just minor time loss stuff. And also the NPCs move randomly, so sometimes they can block your way. There's the NPC on the second floor there, the one outside of the shop, and there's also one in A-Gate Village. And the one in A-Gate Village is probably the one that's most egregious, because it can actually block you from entering where you're supposed to be going.
Luckily that hasn't happened to me yet, but I'm sure it will now that I've said that.
It happened to me once, and I really just do not want it to happen again. Although it's going to happen in this run now, isn't it?
Yeah, marathon luck, isn't it? It's gotta happen.
Yep.
So he's going to be getting some Pokeballs for free here, and then he's going to actually be getting a Great Ball as well. Just one, I believe.
Yep. And now we're free to travel back.
Just a single Great Ball. Nothing special about this one Great Ball.
There's nothing curious about it at all. And we'll be employing it in a completely normal way.
Hey, I think it's pretty great.
Yeah. Figures.
It never works, but other than that...
Yeah, true. Never ever works.
Don't we all love 40%? So, here we get to see one of the most iconic characters of this video game series. Probably one of the most exaggerated Pokemon characters of all time, and arguably one of the better villains in this game. Or arguably one of the better villains in the Pokemon series overall. Mirror B, and this is not the last we'll see of him, and you get to hear a tidbit of his fantastic theme, which I promise you will hear more of in this run. And we're left to battle his henchmen.
So basically just a couple more tutorial fights here. Pretty simple, straightforward.
Yeah, these fights are pretty alright. I mean, I might miss some ranges, but should be good here, especially with this Wishmer should always die. And this Lotad should take enough damage from the bite that I can just finish it off with a return. And you'll see me using return over confusion, even though they're both able to kill the Lotad. due to the fact that return is a faster animation than confusion, and it actually saves time if you do optimal menuing. Obviously, it's not guaranteed that I'll menu optimally, and I could theoretically have saved with time with confusion. But it's still nice to build a habit, and yeah, it's quite a bit faster actually. So even if you do it suboptimally, it can still save time. And you'll see me do a lot of that when pokes just have a little bit of health left and I need to finish them off. Just instead of mashing A with confusion, I'll just finish them off with return.
Yeah, animation length is a big factor in this speedrun since you can't actually disable any move animations. A lot of the routing is based around not just trying to save turns in battle, but also try to save as many animations as possible. So another function you might see during the run, you have a call option, which is mostly useful for shadow Pokemon, but also has an in-battle use just for if you need to stall a turn. And it's like the fastest thing to do is just to call, and that basically does nothing. So if you don't have to have that Pokemon attacking on that turn, just call.
But you'll also get to see that. I'd hope, unless I stress out too much and somehow forget it, but I doubt I'll do that. Let's get to see some frame-saving calls.
I mean, I noticed there was no Spanish Reflect there, unfortunately.
Not yet.
Not yet.
To the uninformed, it is a common thing, or it's become a common thing on my personal channel, that I'll accidentally use Reflect when I mean to do something else. Because I'll prematurely do the menu, and hopefully we won't see that today. If my Espeon had proper stats, this Makuhita would still not have been guaranteed, and is one of the first ranges we encounter, or the first range we encounter in this game. And if you want to talk a little bit about the Makuhita range, or maybe just ranges in general as a concept.
So Shadow Pokemon you can basically think of as wild Pokemon from other games in that they have completely randomly generated IVs, basically determines how their stats grow, and also random natures. And because of that, the damage output from your moves can vary wildly sometimes. We have a pretty good idea of, the average roll that you expect to get during a run. But that Makuhita, for example, that's a really good example of when it has really high special defense and HP, and you get a low roll, it can actually survive Espeon's Confusion, even a good Manipped Espeon's Confusion.
Yeah, approximately 1.2% chance.
I've been unfortunate enough to get it like 3 or 4 times. Granted, I've done quite a few runs, but still. There's also something that can happen on this fight, where we get our secondary Pokemon, which is the Kulaba, and you'll see me perform a trick here in 1 second with this completely normal Great Ball. So what I do here is I use the Great Ball like normal, and then I swap spots on Espeon's turn, where the Great Ball and with a Great Ball and a Pokeball. So it's important that you have one Great Ball and one Pokeball here, or either just Great Balls and Pokeballs, 2 Pokeball slots, because that will actually duplicate the balls I got to capture. So the game actually won't count me having used the Great Ball, and I'll still have my Great Ball left. This is very important because I'll be needing the Great Ball in, well, a very scary upcoming fight a bit later on in the run. And I do have a backup save for that, actually, if that goes badly. So we won't have to mercy kill the run at that, at least. So we got our Kulava. Unfortunately, even if this Kulava is runnable, I won't be able to continue with this because my Espeon is unfortunately not the correct one.
Yeah,
But,
this would be a great time for an adamant Kulava.
Yeah, this is when the really good Kulava appears. I'm gonna get a perfect IV naughty Kulava here. Just watch. So he's gonna give us a little talk about Shadow Pokemon and just run off because we can't do anything about it. So, and now reach this is where we would usually check our Quilava stats, so I would usually screenshot this and go in and out. Also, that was Quilava was very not runnable. That was pretty high
great.
attack, pretty low special attack. So could be adamant. I didn't
Yeah,
really
it
look
could
at the
be.
stats.
Let's see. What's your estimate? 405. Run it anyway.
Yeah, just run Manipulus with an unrunnable Manipulus Espeon, and yeah, we'll be fine. So, I'll be getting my backup saved pretty soon, but we'll continue for now. So this is Pyrite Town, one of the best themes in this game. And here we'll be introduced to a character called Kale at the start here, speaking to Mr. Johnson. And we'll be seeing Kale shortly, once I went for a little walk. And Kale's a lovely dude. That is, I'm gonna keep it at that for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
So Rue will actually remember that this plaza here, which we're standing in right now, is where she actually was kidnapped. And she says that we should be on the lookout. So we're currently on our way to the Pyrite Colosseum, which is a, well, Colosseum, where the game's name derives from. And also, in a way, the only Colosseum we'll be fighting in this run, unless you count the final one, which is borderline not a Colosseum. I'll be restoring my pokes here just to line it up with my backup save, and just inserting a memory card. So the guy you saw me speak to there before I went and reset told us more about Kale, and that he got a shadow Pokemon. Or that he got a very strong Pokemon from winning the Colosseum Challenge, and we should go talk to him, Rui says, and that is exactly what we're gonna do. And unfortunately, we cannot skip doing this, so we're gonna have to go back and talk to Kale.
Yeah, Kale is it's a bit of a notorious fight, you could say. It's like it's the first fight with the starter Pokemon that you've got from Gen 2, and it's got first turn where you'll focus primarily on the Lanoon that'll show up, and then you'll also take out the Ralph that is paired with it. The second turn, you'll then purely focus on this Furret even. I think it's the Lanoon packs. On the Furret. Yeah. Pretend. I played this game. And then from the third turn onwards, this is an ideal situation. It's adapt. You just have to go with whatever you can do. It's an interesting fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the
Furret
Furret
is totally over-leveled.
Yeah, the Furret pretty much is the entire fight. Everything else is not really too much of an offensive threat, and they die pretty easily. So basically what he's going to be focusing on here is not just winning the fight, but he also wants Quilava to go into this condition known as Hyper Mode. And when you go into Hyper Mode, that's good, because when you use the call function, you're going to lower your purple shadow bar significantly, and that amount varies depending on your nature. So we want Hyper Mode, but the unfortunate thing is, when you go into Hyper Mode, it also skips that turn. And it can happen at a very inconvenient time, occasionally. It just kind of adds more to the RNG in this fight.
I also got double strength, which is not great.
This is why we love Kale.
And now you can see why this fight is... well, a lot of runs die here.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier about Shadow Pokemon having random stats and everything. This Furret is pretty much the prime example throughout the entire run where its stats really matter. Like, it can sometimes be slower than you or faster than you. It can sometimes be a 3-hit with Confusion, sometimes a 4-hit, sometimes not even a 4-hit.
It is quite the fight I have had here. Now Quilava's going to go into Hyper Mode too, I bet.
And believe it or not, Kale does actually have random AI, so it's just very unlucky that he's chosen that particular move so many times.
You can use Helping Hand, which is probably the best thing to do for us. And would be really helpful if they'd done that. I've now had to waste a lot of potions.
Nice out of hyper mode critical hit as well with the Galava.
So I don't really need hyper mode right now, although it'd be really nice. My Galava is a hardy nature, which means it needs one call. And then get back into hyper mode. Although the chance to get back into hyper mode is really good. Okay, so I actually got it here. But I think I'll just kill the Seedot and call in Pyrite Colosseum because chances to get into hyper mode after the first bar with this nature is 70. So I'll just do this for now. Did also do some extra walking off screen also, so I won't need to do that, but sometimes you need to do extra walking with the different natures so that you can or reduce your shadow meter further. Because there's something called walk cycles in this game, and for a set amount of... If you walk for a set amount of time, the shadow bar will be reduced on Qualavis. Well, the shadow bar you see below Qualavis HP will be reduced by just walking and being in the party and being sent out, etc. And this difference from nature to nature. So now we'll be, well, walking into this person's house out of nowhere. We've gotten no leads that we're supposed to be going here, but and we're gonna talk to this bookshelf and then just walk back out. So you're actually supposed to get leads for this that leads you up to this, but since they didn't set any flags for the leads, we're actually able to just trigger this cutscene immediately.
Who are those people in the cave? I guess they're not important.
No idea. And we're just gonna walk out of here. And this game is very functional.
I'll say, if you want to find out who they are, play the sequel.
You don't know, Jim Frick, you don't know the plot of this game? I mean, fair. It's quite... They don't really explain it really well in the game itself, which makes it sometimes hard to explain. So, we'll talk to this guy who's been robbed by the little kid you saw talking to the muscly man earlier when we visited his house. And he's taken a gear which drives this windmill of sorts, which produces electricity for the Colosseum, which we visited earlier. So the Colosseum is currently not functional, and we're gonna have to retrieve this gear.
It's a pretty big gear, just as a heads up.
Yeah, if there only was carry weight in this game.
Yeah, kind of a necessary errand in a way, too, because the steps are nice for purifying.
Absolutely. Very convenient.
Wait, where'd the gear go?
Who knows? Maybe Rui's carrying it in her pocket or something. Even if it's somehow gone invisible. So now we'll go back to deliver the gear. And look at that, it's juking again. So hopefully we'll have a decent Pyrite Colosseum, because that's the next segment coming up. Should be pretty solid with this Quilava. Shouldn't really have any issues at all, actually. Hyper mode chances are great. Could have called out earlier, but doesn't really matter that much now. If I was like on an actual run, it would obviously be a bit different, but hey. I'll be employing quite a few safe strats, or at least perceived safe strats, throughout this run, because this game is quite lethal, as you saw in the third battle to begin with here, and which you will see through the rest of the game. And which is also why I've got a few backups in case something goes wrong.
Yeah, as far as things going terribly wrong, the experience route for Espeon is fairly tight in this route, so we really don't want Espeon to die. But depending on the fight, it's actually fine if Quilava dies. And there's one fight in particular where Quilava actually takes an intentional death, just because it's the most consistent, quick way to get through that fight.
And we'll get to that later, when that time comes around. So this is the first battle of Pyrite Colosseum, and we'll have 4 battles here to determine if we're able to win and receive a grand prize of a Shadow Pokemon. Which is what Kale received. Yes, spoilers. So since I didn't call out him Kale, I'm just gonna go for kill here. And maybe I can even get the 1 in 8 range. Who knows? Okay, so this Sentry is a 1 in 8 chance to die here. I essentially never get it, but hey.
I mean, you should have done average get around 1 in 8 times.
That average sure doesn't seem to turn up a lot.
No, it doesn't feel like 1 in 8. It feels like 1 in like a million.
So I'm going to call Quilava out of hyper mode here, and it's almost guaranteed to get it back in the next battle, 70%. And that will also be the last time I need to call it before I eventually want to call it out for the final time. Unless something goes really wrong, then I need to heal it. Because when a Pokemon is in hyper mode, you can actually use status items on it. That includes full heals and healing items, so it can be quite concerning if Quilava is low HP, so it could happen that I need to call it out of hyper mode and heal it, but it is pretty unlikely.
And the way he knows how many calls he needs, there's roughly 2 major factors with purification. On Croc Route, pretty much the only concern is just purifying it, as in emptying the bar completely by the time you get to the Relic Stone later in the game. With Quilava Route, though, there's additional things you need to be concerned with. Since it needs a lot more experience to evolve, we want it to start gaining XP as soon as possible. And even though Shadow Pokemon don't actually gain XP in the moment, once their Shadow Bar is down by over 2/5, they will actually start gaining XP in the background, which you will then receive as a lump sum of XP when you purify it. And so, mainly the reason we call as much as we can early is so that we get those 2 bars down as fast as possible.
Currently, I will be gaining experience on the next battle, which is pretty solid. If I was being really safe, I could have walked even more extra and... Oh my god, I got a 1 in 256. No way!
Nice.
Okay. I guess
Well,
I need...
we need to explain that now, don't we? Making our job so much harder.
It's more content.
So what just happened there? Yeah, that just randomly can happen about 1 in 256 of the time. Is your Pokemon just decides, hey, I don't want to be in hyper mode anymore, and it's awesome. It's a good game mechanic.
Just fantastic, especially now.
And you don't actually, for those wondering, you do not get the purification bonus like you would if you called it when this happens. So that's why it's just salt in the wound.
If this was a different nature, where you need like 2 or maybe even 3 calls, and it can even go up to 4 actually, that would be so much more inconvenient. But luckily, Spanners does only need the 1 call in this
I got the
nature,
1 in
so...
256 yesterday.
But yeah, so it's not as big of a deal, I guess, compared to other natures, but it's still very annoying.
Yeah. Surprised that this happens in a marathon run. I mean, I was expecting to not have amazing luck, but I didn't expect that. Luckily, it doesn't matter too much with this Quilava, but it's just annoying.
And really, you should consider yourself lucky, because it's a 1 in 256 chance to happen. That's pretty unlikely. So, you should feel blessed that it's happened.
I'm showcasing off the best aspects of this game. truly making people interested in running this game, I feel. It's a good advert. So luckily I got back into hyper mode, since my nature is rather likely to enter hyper mode, and with rather likely I mean 70% for now, still. So it isn't too much of a worry. It was more of a worry if I had a nature that had a really low chance of entering hyper mode, then it could have been really bad, especially if I needed more calls. Luckily I've gotten a pretty good quote for this marathon, so I avoid that.
Yeah, because he's already gaining XP in the background, even though we can't see it. Ideally, you would want to start gaining XP by the next fight at the latest. But yeah, we're just going to be kind of finishing these next 2 fights, hopefully without any more big surprises. And so I guess if you got any donations to read, that would be a pretty good time.
If we don't have anything, I guess I can explain something else coming up here too, because we'll be employing a glitch, another one. And this is one of the 2 glitches we'll be employing a lot throughout this run. But yeah, did you have anything?
Yeah, we have a couple.
Yeah, we do. We've got a couple.
Go for it, man.
Sorry, yeah, no, I was, my computer was being a bit slow. We have $50 from Stop and Fritz, who says, "Happy holidays, folks. I love all of you." We have $10 from Zeronius, who says, "What do you call a lovely day in the month of May? Corvidae. Good luck, Svanes, and don't roll ones in your fire blast."
I'll try.
I don't even know how to respond to that one. And we have $5 from Jordan97. He says, "The true enemy in this game is Mantine." Thanks, Jordan.
It is.
Yeah, we'll be seeing a Mantine later. So I got the Goldeen range here. That's a 50% range. And you saw me do an X special, or a glitch there with the X special. Ryskin, mind explaining that?
Yeah, so a really neat mechanic that was found a couple years back, but we didn't have when I first started running. You can actually have one of your Pokemon boost the other Pokemon instead of just itself. And that's done through a menuing exploit by using an item that does nothing. That actually will set the target for the X item. And yeah, it's a really great thing that actually became a mechanic in later Pokemon generations. It was not a mechanic in Gen 3 at all, though. And it's just wonderful being able to boost your partner in this game, because Espeon appreciates X specials a lot. And you can also even use it to boost 2 stages in 1 turn if you have each of your Pokemon use an X item. It really kind of broke the category wide open when that was found. It made the run a lot safer, for one thing, removing a lot of RNG, and makes Quilava Route actually somewhat possible, along with RNG manipping Espeon.
I fortunately or unfortunately wasn't around back before even this, so I have very little knowledge of how life was before the RNG manip and before the X special glitch and before the Pokeball duplication glitch. But I'm sure it must have been quite a tough time. And back then they were also running Croc or Croconaw and for Alligator, not.
Yes, I mean, fun fact, like without the X special glitch, the Shadow Quillfish used to be a very bad range, and that has Poison Sting and Minimize, and it's a very fun fight if you don't get that range.
That fight is that fight can still be annoying, but it's way less likely to be annoying. There's just a Linoon in that fight instead that is a bit obnoxious. Cause some trouble.
Yeah. The fight that is not normally annoying unless a 10% chance happens is this one coming up, where in an ideal situation we can just mash A.
Ideal situation.
Yeah.
Come on, do not miss. So I'll be abusing the Quilava's 90% plus 1 in 16 chance to crit in this fight, and this should just be mashing A if I hit all my crits, and if Yanma doesn't do anything obnoxious, so I get Uproar, which it's a good start. That is the best thing it can do. It could use Supersonic, which has potential to be really slow if it hits. And And now I just need to hit my pull-up a critical hit, and this from here and from this point should be free.
So yeah, Yanma's yet another shadow that can potentially have high enough stats to not die to these 2 hits. It's pretty rare though, because one's a physical and one's a special hit, so it's very, very unlikely that it would be high in both of those defensive stats.
I don't think I've ever had that, actually.
Yeah, I've not had that when, at least when it's crit. Like, obviously when it's not crit, I've had it a lot, but...
I've had pretty much every one happen. Either myself or Exarian have had almost every shadow range happen in a run.
I guess that's how they were discovered. Hopefully we don't miss more of those throughout this run, although it's pretty unlikely. There aren't that many shadow range, or like shadow rush on our side, at least shadow ranges left. So there are a few shadow pokes that are still, again, have variable stats, and that I might miss the range on, but as for Kulava itself, missing ranges with Shadow Rush, the move, as long as it crits, there shouldn't be any issues from here on out with the attack this Kulava has.
Yeah, what attack does this Kulava actually have?
It has 50 attack, and I can get the IV real quick. The attack IV on this Kulava is 21. So,
Okay, yeah.
pretty solid, neutral nature, 21 attack Kulava.
Yeah, if you have your defensive IVs on your Pokemon, I have my damage spreadsheet open so I can kind of help you out if you're in range to die to a move or something.
Yeah, I have the defensive stats open too, so if there's
Alright.
suddenly something you need to remind me, I'll give you the defensive stats in 1 second once I'm done mashing through this cutscene.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's one little thing that I think it was Shen that
People-
pointed out in this cutscene. The little girl will every now and then just like lean forward and then go back into place, kind of like she's going into like the onto her tiptoes and then back. I don't know if that was the intent from the developers, but just a little thing.
So I have 24 defense and 14 special defense. Ivy's neutral nature.
One second, sorry.
I have 24 defense and 14 special defense.
On Espeon?
No on Type, and I'll give Espeon in 1 second.
Okay.
Espeon, it's
Is Espeon the negative natured wrath?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So
Front
Rash
run's
with,
going to be scary.
yeah. So Rash with 3 special defense, 22 defense.
Did you get both Frozen?
I did.
Nice.
Speaking of getting both, Spine's got both of those. Oh, okay. The Hoo-Hoo's not a range of this attack. But you got the Taylor range, 15, 16.
And I also had enough speed to be able to just double target a Tailo, so even if it died, or even if it didn't die, I would have still killed it. And that Tailo is a bit scary because it uses Endeavor, and well, Endeavor sets. I actually don't know the exact mechanics of Endeavor. Does it set you to the exact same HP the Pokemon that Endeavoring has?
Correct.
Yeah.
Whatever
okay.
its current
So-
HP is.
It'll essentially set one of your Pokemon's HP to 1, which is always fun when you miss that range and you can't double target. Luckily, we didn't have that issue.
Yeah. One
Yeah,
interesting
I'm playing
thing.
deck special glitch. No, keep going.
I was gonna say one thing about this entire section is basically just back to back battles. So very common to just heal at that center that are the healing section there, just to basically not have to heal throughout the rest of the, at least until you have to eventually call yourself out of hyper mode.
Yeah, and
It's
he is
one
actually
good-
going to be doing that fairly soon, so that he can get the move Flame Wheel, which happens when the Shadow Bar is down by more than 4/5.
Hopefully I'll be able to do that unless something really bad happens.
Yeah, you,
like getting the 1-2
yeah, you don't always
or,
want to do it right away because, yeah, the first couple fights after you would have Flame Wheel, you would want to be in Blaze. And if you don't have Blaze, you might as well just stay in Hyper Mode for a couple more fights.
We'll know if I'm able to call into Blaze pretty soon.
Blaze is going, like, if you have less than a third of your health, it boosts your, well, in Quilava's case, it boosts Flame Wheel, which is the all like a fire type move. So it'll boost every fire type move by 1.5. So extra damage is always good, but then you've got the trade-off of having low health. So it's you got to manage it well.
So a lot of the fights we've entered have had random AI like Kale, etc. This fight is got very particular RNG, so you can play around that and try to take damage with your Quilava, because this Magnemite will Thundershock Quilava unless the Espeon special defense is considerably lower. Now, it might happen, but it has targeted Quilava in my practice. It did, okay.
And
So again, I'm going to call Espeon here to save animation time, and hope Quilava actually hits the crate. And I also want to take the recoil, so I can get closer into Blaze.
sorry,
Going pretty smoothly so far.
yeah, this is one of the fights where you do, like, if you've got very high health with Quilava like spans, that you would try and, if you can see that you're going to get below into like that final section of the bar, on your shadow bar, you want to try and set up getting towards Blaze there.
Yeah, a couple of these fights in the middle where you're trying to set up Blaze and you may or may not have Hyper Mode, etc. There's some really creative strats you could employ involving dig and other shenanigans like that. It's really hard to keep them all straight and during a run, though, and especially when you don't know your nature ahead of time and stuff. You're just kind of hoping you have good enough luck with Hyper Mode calls and all that stuff, and just trying to survive.
So I want to get hit from this Voltorb here now. And if I do get hit from the Voltorb, I'm going to call myself out of Hyper Mode and get Blaze. But if this Voltorb doesn't hit me, I might as well just continue and go with Hyper Mode. So I get Sonic Boom here, and if that, of course, it misses. Okay. So now I might as well just keep Hyper Mode, because it's going to be slow just stalling on this Voltorb. Unfortunately, I didn't get Blaze here, because I would have wanted it for the next fight, but it's fine to push through it with Hyper Mode. I can call on that fight too.
Yeah, based on your health and recoil damage with Shadow Rush, you might be able to get into Blaze, I think, maybe, in the next fight and call in there.
Pretty sure I should be able to. If not, I can also keep Hyper Mode for the battle after that too. It's not ideal, but I guess it's fine.
Yeah, depending on how good Quilava's special attack is, you may not necessarily need Blaze past this point, at least for this section.
Yeah, it's an 11 and 16 on the oddish. So
Bad.
not bad. It's likely, but I mean, I've missed unlikelier ranges, especially
Yeah.
one torments me.
I mean, you had a 1 in 256 in this run already.
I also just So I just missed the Hyper Mode crit again on that above. So this has been going well so far.
Yeah, but you're just within Blaze now by your 1 HP, so...
Yep. As long as Swablu doesn't do anything extremely bad here, I should be good. Yeah, okay, Growl, I'll fine.
Yeah, that's good. It can fly, which is a bit annoying, but at this point it's not gonna really be an issue since it growled. It should go.
So now I finally have Flame Wheel.
Yeah. Confusion and Flame Wheel should take this out, I believe.
So is
It
this
should.
double target Spiel strats coming up?
Yes, this is double target steal. 80%, right?
Theoretically.
Around 85%. It says. But yeah, if this doesn't work out, it's not guaranteed, but there's also a chance that Quilava will faint, and then most likely, would you go down back to the healing center at this point, or would you go and just use the revive?
I would probably just go down, and because I want to revive for backup.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Sphere isn't even guaranteed to go for water gun, so
Yeah.
let's just get this ranged.
Yeah, as mentioned, it is still random AI at this point. What is the fact that actually it switches being some sort of smarter version of AI? Do you know, Razorkin?
Yeah, this fight is random, and then the next fight is kind of like sort of scripted to use the dance move turn 1. It definitely switches in kind of random spots throughout the building. But yeah, the slightly faster way to do this fight, although it is risky, is you would just have Quilava target the Snow Runt for a one-hit KO, and then just hope Spiel doesn't select Water Gun onto specifically Quilava.
Not a very marathon-friendly strat, or I might have went for it. But that is sort of the, I guess, I don't know, standard strat, unless you're playing safe. Depends on your time. If I was on a bad time here, I would go for that for sure. But since this is a marathon and everything,
yeah, and it's not that much slower anyway. The main difference just comes from Snowrunt's animations being typically slower unless it uses Bite.
So again, go and grab this nifty little revive in that chest over there, which I hopefully won't actually need to use at all, although, I mean, it is very likely I will.
It'll be fine. It will be okay. I hope.
I hope. That is comforting. So this Oddish, which is what I was talking about earlier, is now guaranteed, considering I'm in Blaze. If I was not in Blaze, this Oddish would have an 11 out of 16 chance to die.
So we won't be seeing the dance of the pedal today.
Pretty sad if you ask me. Oops. Yeah, just a bit of wrong input, whatever. I'll wasted a super potion. Lovely.
It happens. What health was Espeon on actually? Because if it was on Slayer low health, it doesn't
No,
get...
it wasn't. Almost full. So I'm gonna need to do another super potion here, and of course
Ultimately, it's fine. There's some hyper potions that we can pick up later on, which I imagine you'd probably be picking up anyway, being a marathon and all.
Hopefully, Firma plays nice.
Firma always plays nice. What are you talking about?
Yeah, there is zero risk involved in that fight.
Mantine's the true enemy of this room.
So I'm going to return the Stunicle. It might seem counterintuitive, but return actually to it, the Stunicle. And Confusion does not one-shot it unless you use an X special. So it is thus faster to just hit it twice with return instead. And I get Constrict, which is really good. Means I won't need to heal now. So not the worst time in the world.
Yeah,
getting onto the rooftop. I mean, obviously, would prefer it to be lower, but I mean, it's been about average so far, bar the 1-256 and the hyper mode myth crits.
And also swapping to the save file.
Yeah, minor time loss. But
Yeah, one nice thing about Quilava route versus Croc route is we're already done using hyper mode. Croc would have to use a lot more hyper mode.
And as we've already established, hyper mode isn't exactly the most reliable mechanic. So I'm glad we got that over with.
I mean, it's 255 out of 256 for it to be reliable. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, that is still a 1 out of 256 to not be reliable, and also the 90%. We've seen a lot of bullshit so far, so hopefully the game will treat us nice from here.
this Pokemon Colosseum will not treat you nice. You know this.
Yeah, we do know that. We've gotten through the first 55 minutes, and the run isn't dead yet. I'm positively surprised. Hopefully no more menuing mistakes like I did with the Super Potion. Something I usually wouldn't do, but you know, a bit stressed with it being my first marathon and all.
For this upcoming fight, there was a strat that Spanners could have done, but I assume you decided not to go for trying to keep Quilava alive at least for the first turn. Seeing as you've got 72 health. It could survive, but it's a bit less likely now.
It actually survived once here in testing. But I believe that was minus special attack Mantine, because it did absolutely nothing. So now comes everyone's favorite Pokemon Colosseum fight.
The reason why you could argue Mantine is one of the worst Pokemon in there, Pokemon as a whole.
Thank you, Capital Royce. I'll try not to jinx it, Sanjay. I'm not reading chat that much, but I keep up a little bit. So
yeah, I mentioned earlier Quilava's gonna take an intentional death somewhere because it makes a certain fight much more consistent. Yeah, you might see why it's this fight.
This evil water creature looking at us.
Look at it. That is the true face of evil right there.
And the true face of evil is actually this A-bomb.
Yeah, true.
And I got it.
Flip your coins.
Let's go.
You got it? Nice. So yeah, that's around 55% chance to faint there, which, seeing as it makes this fight a lot better compared to what it could be.
And thanks for that video game. Treating me well for once. When I needed it the most.
Rest in peace, Quilava.
So now this Mantine is going to start targeting my Espeon, and I'll be taking quite a bit, considering I have a very low special defense Espeon, which is not ideal.
Yeah. We're looking at between 28 to 34 damage per Bubble Beam. There's also the chance that it can also slow you, which is just an extra kick. Just an extra kick when you're down.
It can be really bad if you get the speed drop, so hopefully we don't get the 10% speed drop and not 1 in 16 crit.
There is a chance if you do get a speed drop that you're still faster than Mantine, but it's pretty unlikely.
Yeah.
And you're definitely slower than Yanma.
Yeah, I'm just thinking as well, this is a 19 speed Espeon.
Yeah, the low speed Espeon hull, so
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
This Espeon isn't the greatest, unfortunately. I was not able to. I tried getting in the minute for so long, and it just didn't want to work before when I was setting up this save file. So it's a low speed Espeon, unfortunately. Luckily, I should be good now. And this was my main worry for this run with this Espeon. There's also Entei that I am scared of.
Yeah, but
Because Entei can also outspeed me.
don't worry about that when we get there.
Let's just not get speed drop here. Thank you. And that is Firma. One of the big scares over and done with. Look at that Mantine go. Isn't it beautiful?
So there is actually a 4.8% chance that it will survive 2 hits, that Mantine. And again, it's because it's a shadow Pokemon, if it had high HP and high special defense. However, you can offset, like, you can use Umbreon to attack if you're thinking that could be a case that's about to happen.
So we're going to talk to Silver here again, and he chased after Wreath and Firma, who we just talked to, and Mirror B, who's stolen Duking's Plusle, which is the guy we talked to earlier, and now Mirror B is giving us a personal injury from his fancy little cave, which we'll be visiting very shortly. And now we get a free heal, something you don't get a lot of, but you get it enough so that it's useful, and especially here it can be really useful, or you might have wanted to, or needed to expend a couple of more healing items. And this is the Quillfish Ryzigan was mentioning earlier. Luckily, this is not a problem.
Yeah, the nice thing about the X Special glitch, not only does it guarantee Quillfish, but it also happens to make Goldeen a one-hit KO, so you actually save quite a few animations over, you know, the time before we had the X item glitch.
There is still as Spartan mentioned a while ago, there's a couple of things that can make this fight a bit inconvenient, but we can just hope that doesn't happen, at least.
No, that Lightning's gonna Odor Sleuth me, don't worry.
Goldeen will just miss the bad move, which is very fast.
Yeah. Animation cancel, easy. Didn't use the bad move.
Alright. Good.
So this Goldeen has a very famous Pokemon video gaming move called Supersonic, and if it did that, it's really bad. Or it can be really bad, especially if it targets Espeon. And I got Odor Sleuth from Linoon too. I'm seeing into the future. And this Linoon is Sand Attack and Headbutt, so it can make you miss your moves and it can flinch you at the same time, which is less than ideal. And not a run killer, so to say, but it can definitely lose you a lot of time. So I'm glad we got through this fight scot-free.
Yeah, I'm gonna be picking up a couple of items. Gonna pick up some hyper potions. You can skip these, but for safety, especially for Americans, it's good to pick them up. And then we're gonna also pick up some ethers, which will be very important later on in the run, but for the meantime we can kind of just forget about them, I guess.
I pretty much always pick up these hypers, and especially with how many potions I've already expended, I would definitely be picking them up.
Yeah, we haven't really been pointing out when the game actually auto-heals you, but he did just get a free team heal after beating Firma, so he didn't have to worry about, you know, Quilava reviving or anything like that. He was just good to go. There's a few free heals like that in the run, and a lot of the route is based around those free heals and like when should we heal from the menu and stuff like that.
Another fan favorite coming up here. And this fight is actually so potentially awful that I made a backup in case this fight goes horrendously wrong. Unfortunately, that is not the same Quill, but yeah, I'll try. I mean, if I kill the Meditite, it's fine, because again, I'm gonna back up. But yeah, this Meditite here holds a very important item, and we'll need to be catching this Meditite because of this item it's holding. This item is the Twisted Spoon, which boosts the power of Psychic-type moves, and the entire route is essentially based around Espeon having this item. So the run is dead if this Meditite dies under normal circumstances, which is why I made a backup. Because this Meditite can kill itself in many different and entertaining ways, which you might be able to see now. If I just don't get first ball, wow, okay. This never happens in my actual runs. Won't be needing the backup.
Great balls actually are great after all.
Who'd have thought? So I do get Dragon Breath from Bagon, which is the worst thing it can do because it can paralyze, and I do get paralysis. Lovely. Just gonna... Normal digs... Right... Yeah, okay. I should have dug.
So yeah, the more YOLO way to do this fight is to target Bagon with the Confusion turn 1. This strat that he used is a little bit safer though. If Metatite were to break out, it can actually become a real pain if you're not also doing damage to it on that same turn. And after a Confusion hit, the Metatite is typically guaranteed with the next Great Ball, so you can still pretty easily get like a 2-turn fight.
I would be doing... If I wasn't... Again, if I was doing an actual run, I would probably be using that strat instead of doing this safer targeting the Metatite strat, but again... It's hard to actually determine which one is safer for a marathon. If I didn't have the backup, I would have been going for the fast strat, probably. And so we'll immediately be picking the Twisted Spoon off the Metatite here. Oops. Okay. And I'll also be topping off Kulava's health, because we're coming up on another dangerous battle. Wrong person. There we go. Honestly, I'll just do Flare Espion too, just for safety. This next battle has a very good entrance line, which is extremely memorable, one of the best entrance lines in the game. Cool, welcome to here. So this is Ryder Sosh, and she has a Dunsparce, and this Dunsparce might not look very scary, but if this hits you with Shadow Rush or Takedown, it can deal a lot of damage, and if this crits Espion, that's, I mean, pretty bad, but I won't split XP.
One thing I don't know if we mentioned, but viewers might have noticed by now, whenever you catch a Shadow Pokemon, its only move is Shadow Rush, but when you're fighting it, the trainer-controlled Pokemon has all 4 of its moves already. And so that means Dunsparce not only has Shadow Rush, but also has some annoying status moves and Takedown, which hits like a truck on both of our Pokemon.
It can actually knock Kulava. I don't know on this HP, but sometimes it can knock Kulava into Blaze. And we did get Glare though, and we got Glare Miss. Wow, okay. That's super good.
Very nice.
That help actually. There's a chance that if it did go for takedown on Quilava, it would have got knocked into Blaze.
If you get Quilava knocked into Blaze here, you get a favorable range to hit KO the Dunsparce. And I also got Yawn follow-up, so this was a really good fight.
Yeah, one of the advantages of actually calling is that you can use it to wake up a Pokemon if it did fall asleep. It won't fall asleep in this situation. But if that was to happen in the previous turn, we could just call the Pokemon and it would wake up instead of having to use the full heal.
Neat mechanics. Might actually have to employ that in the next battle, depending on what happens.
Oh yeah.
So I'm very high health, and I really don't need the healing machine. But again, it's a marathon, and I mean, I'm not an awful pace, so I'll take the healing machine here. Usually would never have taken this at this state in an actual run again, but another one of those marathon strats. And,
another interesting part about, like, we mentioned all snags earlier, at least the old route for all snags used to actually intentionally save at that PC. So we would set our spawn point here in this cave, so we could return here to catch some of the tougher Shadow Pokemon when we have the Master Ball later. And it's really silly because, you know, you white out in some battle in, like, Agate Village, and then you just wind up, boom, right there in that cave. It's like, you know, there's a perfectly good Pokemon Center 15 yards away, but no, let's just journey all the way back to this cave instead. Sure
is a lovely mechanic. Oh, something you've also noticed, and or something you've also probably noticed, is that I haven't been saving, and that is because saving in this game, because this game is obviously perfectly well made, is locked behind PCs, which means you're only able to save at PCs, which are spread out in pretty spread out pretty sparsely in pretty random and inconvenient locations. And that is also one of the things that makes this run not extremely marathon friendly, because you can't save for the big fights a lot of the time. I could go back down to that PC, for example, and save for the battle coming up, but that would be very slow. And also, since there are move animations can't be turned off, you lose even more time from having to re-enter and start the battle again. So saving is essentially unviable, unfortunately.
Just got past the Swablu without too much trolling happening. The Swablu has Sing, which if it misses is fast, but obviously if it hits is very annoying, because it puts you to sleep.
It also can fly, which isn't as bad. You just double target the Lothad in that case and kill the Beldum coming in. This Beldum is a ranged on bad special attack. Luckily, that is not the case for us. Not bad special attack, but 57 to 58. It's a 50.
That does kind of bring up a good point too about Gen 3 double battles. In general, Pokemon in later generations aren't sent in to the fight until the end of the turn. But in Gen 3, they're sent out during the turn. So it's actually possible with a combination of Shedinjas, like a team of Shedinjas, you could actually get a one-turn fight by using Spikes and Sandstorm. It's just a nice, fun battle CD from XD.
So, a very, well, interesting fight is coming up here, and I really, really do hope I don't get a bad fight here. I actually got it in practice today. A very nice range. Mid-level potions here. I'll just top this gun with one potion.
Healing in the best room.
Salsa time.
Here he is. So, well, I'll explain it when we get there, but Mirror Beam, these Ludicola's dancing around him, will actually be employed in the battle. His team consists of 4 Ludicolas and a surprise Shadow Pokemon, which you'll see later. Well, this fight has 2 95% ranges. And today I did practice and I missed the worst one. And that is really slow if this happens. So we do get it as a lead, which is a great start. This level 31 Ludicola here with Espeon at +3 is a, well, 15 or a 95% range. So let's just pray that we don't see that right now. I would feel pretty miserable after the already debatably horrible RNG I've had so far. And I also got 30 lead with it, which, I mean, better than 29, but this is pretty mediocre.
So yeah, this fight's AI is interesting because it's kind of consistent-ish, and then it's also random to a certain extent in the middle. For instance, they're always going to use Rain Dance if it's not currently raining. And in the case of the 31 specifically, if you don't kill it on the next turn, it will use Leech Seed. And that is like he said, very, very slow move. Because then you have to watch the recovery animations for the entire rest of the fight, pretty much.
Congratulations on getting the first range.
Yep.
That was very close to lava.
Yeah, I'm actually going to heal Kulava here because I want the XP. And then I'm going to go for the 29 and hopefully I don't get flinched. It's targeting Kulava. Okay, that's good. So this 29 here is a bit of a problem because it uses Astonish. Using Astonish has a chance to flinch. You can imagine that is also really slow and actually pretty lethal depending on your healing item situation.
Yeah, both the 28 and 29s have the Swift Swim ability, so they're actually going to be faster than this Espeon under Rain. The 30 and 31, though, do not have Swift Swim, so they're not ever going to... You don't have to worry about them flinching you or anything.
The 28 does have Razor Leaf, which is fairly slow but safe.
It's not that slow.
Especially not when Espeon avoids the attack. This isn't bad pace so far. I mean, obviously, taking marathon strats and everything into consideration, I'm fairly happy with how this is going. Even with the RNG that's happened so far. As long as I didn't miss that Ludicolo range, honestly, and as long as Firma went okay. Pretty solid. So here is Murby's Shadow Pokemon. It is everyone's favorite Sudowoodo. This is another 95-ish% range random stat accounted for. And we got that too. So overall, solid Murby. Pretty happy with that. And now the rain's gonna stop, and the 28 will set up rain again, which we won't allow it to do, of course. But if we give it one more turn, it would just set up rain here again. And that is Murby.
Yeah, because it started raining as well, it meant that like the Espeon was faster. You can actually either outspeed or speed tie that particular Ludicolo as well if you have high enough speed, but we do not.
Yeah, under the most optimal 31 IV speed, you would tie with the 29 and outspeed the 28, I believe.
Yeah.
Or you might still be slower than 29. I can't remember.
Still slower than 29. 31 outspeeds the 28, 27 speed ties.
So now we save Plusle, and well, this Plusle will eventually become an invaluable asset to us, as you'll see pretty soon. Or, well, it won't be showcased very early, but indeed, it is an important asset that is run overall, and we'll be employing this Plusle a lot, surprisingly. Too many, maybe.
Every prized boxer needs a punching bag.
That is a good description. I don't know if you've actually done anything more with this, but I remember just visiting your stream once, right? And you were talking about routing Meditite instead of Plusle. Did you ever get any further on that?
Yeah, I've been routing basically just not teaching Protect to Plusle and using Meditite as the lead for the final fights. But those two fights take a long time to route, so I've been kind of slowly getting those done. Hopefully we'll be running with those strats here in the next few weeks or so.
Lovely. Wow. Can't wait to try them out.
Yes, well, how the because I heard you were looking at 55 being viable with calcium. Did that get any further as well?
That might have been. I don't think that was for any percent. That might have been for all snags or something.
I see.
Unless I mentioned something in Discord to the effect of like using vitamins to slightly raise or lower my defenses to try to test different AI.
Okay.
Oh, I think I vaguely remember. Yeah, you buy a couple vitamins instead of... Right, because you save money not having to buy that Protect, and then you can also buy less healing items and stuff, and you would afford, at most, I think, 2 calciums. And I'm not totally sure if that's really viable to do that yet, or how much of an effect it would have.
It's still interesting to think about as a thought experiment, at least. Making more Quillavas runnable is always, a positive, considering how strict some of us can be. I'm not that strict yet, because I can still improve my time quite a bit with even a mediocre Quillava, but there are runners that are very strict with which Quillavas they take. My fellow European runner, Cabby, for example. Old world record holder in no snags, and he's going to be running Colosseum again a lot soon. And hopefully he'll be able to grab that no snags record back, because currently the leaderboard is occupied by one person in particular. So maybe we'll see a little bit of a shake-up, at least in the no snags category.
I believe technically 2 people. This is a different world record holder for 100%.
100% of this game is an interesting category. I've been wanting to run it. but it's quite the commitment.
It's a little long.
Yeah, just a bit of a
XD
commitment.
100% is a little bit longer as well.
Both fantastic categories.
Both fantastic games.
Absolutely. I'm just gonna go for Flame Wall Hierarchy. Oops.
Yeah, just a little.
A little.
Nothing too much.
It's you'll do it in the evening, right?
Make sure you eat a big breakfast.
Get settled in. Okay, thankfully Phil uses Rock Smash here. I believe Kulava can die here to crit Surf, which this Phil can use, which is also slow. So I'm glad I didn't get that.
And you also remember to move from Return to Confusion.
Famous mistake. Almost as famous as Svanis Reflect. Missing inputs in this game can be really deadly. So, gotta make sure the... Not yet. But pretty soon, and you don't want that to happen. So these fights are just pretty straightforward. There's not much to talk about here. Other than me just farming.
Yeah. So any messages or donations at the time?
Yeah. Proceeds for Velocity Online go to the Movember Foundation. Prostate cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer in men in the United States. Globally, more than 1.3 million men are diagnosed with prostate cancer each year. Across the country, there are more than 3 million men living with and beyond the disease. Many are dealing with serious side effects from treatment. It doesn't have to be like this, so we're taking action. Movember spent years immersed in prostate cancer research, and in that time, they've progressed forward 50 years. How? By thinking differently, collaborating globally, and investing quickly in what works.
Absolutely fantastic cause to be running for, and also I'm very thankful to be here and be able to do my fair share and to showcase this beautiful and sometimes deadly game.
I think you got that the wrong way around. It's deadly, sometimes beautiful.
It's a cancer.
So hopefully, this ball toy can die if I get a crit here. I've done 2 practice runs, and I crit this ball toy in both of them. Unfortunately, not now. I did burn it though, so it's going to die. Nice. Doesn't even save the animation. Now I need to gang up on Curlio, so I give roll to next. Colosseum.
Just
Give
don't
me
get
what I want.
confused.
Luckily, I did not.
Not this time.
It's right around this fight where we really start to pay attention to Quilava's HP, because we're actually going to be wanting Blaze here in the next section of the game, but it's helpful to be as low as possible now, because there actually is no free heal after this upcoming fight, so you actually keep whatever damage you have, even after you purify. So we will see how this goes.
It can be either very convenient or very inconvenient the upcoming fights, depending on what happens. And I mean, we might not take any damage at all, depending on what lead we get. The fastest lead means we take no damage, but that means we have to do extra work to set up Blaze on map battle,
Yeah,
which is the upcoming segment.
Are you going to look to heal for this for safety, or are you going to just take this health?
I didn't see Quilava's health.
I think it is 62.
You looked like you were maybe above Shadow Rush range, but definitely in triple kick range.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are in triple kit range.
I just topped up Kulava.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Espeon is definitely not in Shadow Rush range, so
Yeah.
I already checked that. I didn't check the other ranges though. Hopefully we don't get one of the... We might even get the combo I can reflect on, and that would be... That's always fun. Anyways, this cutscene, anyone want to talk about why this one's a bit fun?
Yeah, so this fight is basically scripted so that Scrub wins, no matter what. But there is a way for Pikachu to win. It's extremely unlikely. But basically, Pikachu still can paralyze the Hitmontop with its ability Static. And if that happens, if it gets fully paralyzed enough and Pikachu hits enough quick attacks, it can actually die. The Hitmontop can die. But if that happens, the game still treats it as if the Hitmontop won.
And also quick attack from Pikachu can, for some reason, it can miss. They really coded this in favor of Scrub here, which is also an interesting trainer name. Let's see what combo we get. Why not Hitmontop?
You can also crit. Oh, the Hitmontop can also critical hit in that fight and take the Pikachu out in one hit. There's a weird amount of variation that can happen.
Yeah,
So
so this is
this
pretty
combo
much the
does
first fight where the starting combo can vary, where it actually matters significantly for the strats that you use. There'll be plenty of fights later on that have, 6 to 10 different starting combos. This
Luckily, I
one's
didn't
not
get.
really the best combo, but it's not the worst either.
I got focus energy from Hitmontop, so it's fine.
Nice.
So now at +2, this is a guaranteed range.
Quote unquote guaranteed.
Yeah, quote unquote, yeah.
Oh, I actually never. I thought it was guaranteed.
It's
At
guaranteed at 35. At level 34, it's a 99.8% chance.
Huh. Convenient.
And it has been missed by certain people in runs.
I wonder who these certain people are. Do you mind enlightening me?
I know it happened to Ixarian for sure. I think it might have happened to one other person. Not me, though. Thankfully.
I can imagine that as quite the disappointment. No, oh, accidentally, Brett. I did a thing. And this-
Don't reflect!
yeah, and this is not great now.
Yeah, it's
Of course,
not
I have to
ideal.
do that now. I mean, it's fine with Geodude out. I'm just gonna like dig back. And it
It's just-
wastes time.
It's just a bit inconvenient.
You can
I
probably
did.
tank. Can you tank the dig under Reflect? I haven't checked in a while.
Oh yeah, I can actually. I should have went for that.
Yeah, you could have, but I thought so.
Yeah.
Be good damage.
So that's the classic. I'm actually kind of glad it happened because now I got to show off the fact that I do have a very bad habit of doing that, and it's because I'm not that great at the AA down input sometimes. It is just a personal misfortune, I suppose, or me being unpracticed. But hey, it is fine. I'll still be able to finish this, no worries. And I didn't have Kulava die here, and the fight went fine. So we can brush over that. Not the best execution I've done, but you know, kind of extra pressure on you when you're streaming like this too. So
Yeah, well, like I said,
it's
though,
getting to be a little bit.
yeah, but ultimately, it didn't make a difference in the end. It was just a bit slower. Nothing too bad
Yeah.
happened.
So I'm gonna try not get caught up in my mistakes, because I do get caught up in my mistakes sometimes, and that's not great when you're on this kind of run because it'll just lead to more mistakes, right? So I'm gonna try
What
to
mistakes?
Yeah, what mistakes?
So Quilava's Shadow Bar, you might have noticed, it's been empty for a while. We don't really have to worry about whether it's going to purify or not because of the earlier, when does it gain XP, when does it get Flame Wheel, those kind of issues are more important. And as long as we get those, whether it purifies is basically guaranteed.
Which is lovely, not having to deal with purification RNG and fretting about that. And the Squilava should be getting a lot of experience here.
Yeah, it should be getting a good amount if it was from Mirrors.
It actually had,
no, Mirrors, it was the one before. Velch?
Yeah, Velch XP.
Velch. Yeah.
Bonus.
Which is, very convenient too. So I'm going to be reading a mail here coming up. Also, I just remember something. Yep, I forgot to turn off...
Did you leave Rumble on?
Yes. So this mail I just read, you can actually open this too fast, and the game won't register that you've opened the mail, and you won't be getting this cutscene or this dialogue option here, and you have to actually go back and open it again, which is, rather unfortunate when it happens. And just make sure to take that a bit slow if you want to be safe. Because this game is coded well.
Oh, Rui's been trapped.
Bye, Rui.
Oh, there she is.
Best section of the game right now.
So now we'll be getting our... Well, now we'll finally... Quilava will be somewhat useful. Or useful to a greater extent, I should say. So that's 20,614 XP, which is really good.
Yeah, that's a very, very good amount of XP.
And just do not press B here.
You need something in the... Is it 18,000-ish to evolve?
Yeah, 18.5-ish, I think.
I think if you get like 18.4... I don't know. I've been at the absolute... I've actually never had to run with Quilava here, but I've been very close to having to do that.
Yeah, it's not the worst thing if you still have Quilava for the first fight or two on Mount Battle, but it's not ideal.
Definitely makes it a lot harder, and also makes all the ranges later worse because you're already underleveled, and you want to be fairly high level at Tiflishness, as high as you can, for these upcoming fights. This is one of the, well, original, I believe, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't around back then, but I believe this was thought to be very hard for types to actually do back when you ran Gator, and was sort of one of the reasons why Quilava wasn't discovered sooner.
Yeah, basically this section alone was... Yeah, people just dismissed Quilava just because of this section, and it actually turns out to not to even be that much slower than Gator, surprisingly. Although things can happen that can kill your run very easily.
So I'll be doing my first save of the run here, just because the first fight can be obnoxious depending on what happens. And if it goes really badly, I would honestly rather just redo the fight. And also it gives me a spawn point that is not,
In the cave.
Yeah.
And just get a magnitude 7 crit, it's fine. Set you up perfectly.
Yeah, magnitude 7 crits actually sets me up perfectly, because I've tested. I got that. This type has good physical defense, so magnitude is fine here. Bar... I mean, I actually haven't looked at how much damage magnitude 10 would do.
It doesn't seem to give that number, I don't think.
Yeah, 8 is 56, so 10 probably... It shouldn't kill?
Lovely. Let's see what we get here from the mole. We get Amber, that's fine.
Wait, was 10 150 power?
Yeah, 10 is 150 power, I believe.
Okay, so that probably could kill. Basically just hoping not to get a high magnitude roll here and get good blaze by the end of the fight.
I'll just hit Typhlosion again. Not credit.
Yeah, not critting is the hope here, which seems to have worked out luckily. And actually that's quite good health as well to come out of this. Because in this section you'll level up a couple of times, maybe even a few times depending on how much experience you have. So being able to set up with Blaze at like around a quarter of what your maximum health is pretty much ideal. Taking into account that you can take some damage.
This is pretty healthy Blaze too.
It's a nice emote, by the way.
Yeah, I really love it. Just got it commissioned. It's very fitting for this video game. So this fight is pretty free. If I just there's one range here.
Yeah, unfortunately missing this range though can cause some trolly things to happen. This Baltoy has Mud Slap, which reduces your accuracy when it hits.
We all love accuracy reducing moves, don't we? Sand Attack, Mud Slap.
I'll just keep mentioning all the bad things that can happen and then they won't happen.
Yeah, I think you should.
Alright.
Or, you know, maybe they will. I don't know.
Alright, that's not the worst.
Okay, it's fine. But yeah, Mud Slap can be really trolly and lose you a lot of time in this fight, and luckily we avoided that.
Fortunately, the strongest move that several of these things have is Dig, and Dig is very easy to avoid with Typhlosion because you can just dig yourself.
Even got Rock Smash from this Larvitar, so it's fine.
Nice.
Isn't that favorite to use Dig? I feel like I always get Dig from it.
It should be random AI in this fight.
Oh, okay. It's hard to tell sometimes which fights are random AI, because it feels a bit mixed up, but maybe I'm just haven't paid attention to it enough.
Yeah, the first half-ish on Mount Battle are pretty random AI, and then it gets strongest move AI. With some other interesting stuff thrown in.
The Geodude AI, will it always go for self-destruct? I had this question the other day, actually.
At least on these mains, yeah, they pretty much always will.
Because it would be interesting just to test if they just would go for it on anime, if they're like hard-coded to both do it. This bite range coming up here is 47 to 6.
Yeah, this section gets a little bit complicated at times because you're having to manage your HP on both of your Pokemon and make sure you're not... Make sure you at least know whether you're in range or not in range to certain moves that come up, which will determine what strat you use for certain fights.
Yeah, so
or whether you need to heal.
Yeah, so for example in this next fight, we need to keep an eye on whether Espeon is in bite range for the Houndour that's coming up. And there's more fights like that coming up for this entire section.
And throughout a run. Luckily, I shouldn't be in that range. So, nope, I'm not. Okay.
Because typically, unless you absolutely need to heal, you should actually just wait until a more optimal menu, like equipping the experience share.
Something I have never forgotten in my life.
No, nobody has.
Yeah, never.
Let's try not to do it today. Another range coming up here. Another bolt-eye range.
This one is more favourable, at least.
Yeah, should be pretty good on my special.
Yeah, it should be. Oh, it says approximately 7%, but it depends on the different special attacks. And this Typhlosion in particular has it has a very solid special attack. If I remember correctly. What was it again?
It's 30 IV special, neutral nature. So. Should be pretty good.
And after he knocks out both of these Pokemon, that's just enough experience for Psybeam on Espeon.
Which I will also forget, or not forget to teach, or not skip over. I've actually never done that, but I know it's possible. Hello, Shep. Hello, Shep. How you doing?
To be fair, for teaching, it's as long as you're just mashing A, everything will be right. It's more when you have a move that you're not meant to teach, to make sure you're not mashing A and accidentally teach over. Whether it's like Confusion when you're learning Swift at level 30, or is it Morning Sun like later on around the level 50-ish mark?
Yeah, at 52.
So I got the Houndour Ember, but it's targeted Espeon. So I call here because Typhlosion will one-shot this Houndour with Dig. Only really... I've never actually looked into this, but it says in the notes to return Houndour if Abysmal attack on Typhlosion. What actually constitutes Abysmal attack?
Minus nature, bad IV, pretty much.
I've actually never run into it.
I should
16.
probably include the specific IV range there.
It says Dig is arranged if below 16 IV negative attack nature at level 37. So you put it in.
Dig 62 to 74. I've got Triple Leap, got more motion testing, so not so lucky now.
In this fight, there's two particular leads that will determine what strategy to do. There's Lily lead, which is what we have, and Barboach lead, which is preferable, in my opinion.
I think in everyone's opinion. So there's a lot to pay attention to in this run, as you've probably been able to tell by now, which means I'll be a bit preoccupied looking at sheets and notes and stat calcs and everything. So hopefully I'll be able to maintain my, at least, somewhat okay commentary. Should be able to do that.
Yeah, we have one massive Google spreadsheet with all the potential damage that can be dealt to Espeon and Quilava. So it's and that was that originally made by Exarian?
Yeah, the Croconaw version was made by Exarian, like at least the kind of like the skeleton of it.
But you ported the current most used one, right? Or you made it to that one?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been slowly updating it with more niche cases and ranges that have been found, and really quirky mechanics on a few fights where the AI doesn't choose based on the highest damage roll, but the second highest damage roll for some weird reason.
Just Colosseum things. I actually don't have the most version, so I should probably grab that.
As should I, to be fair. And Reskin is also the one who made the Quilava route, documented the notes for all this. All 94 pages of them.
We have the founding father here, so to say.
Yeah, Yeah, it was a little bit of a collaborative effort with me, Ixarian, The Only One, and a few others. I was actually using a much safer route, especially for Mount Battle initially, before I looked into Ixarian's strats of learning Psybeam at a specific place and candying in a certain place to get Psychic. And just a really, really tight XP route, but it works so well for both Espeon and Typhlosion's important levels.
So this Spinda should actually be a range on my special attack, since I believe I leveled to 38, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I'm level 38, so this Spinda is indeed about a 50% range. Probably more with my special attack, I'd assume.
Psybeam with a max roll should leave you on 4. If you don't get the range.
Yeah, I didn't. I burned Spinda though. Didn't get a crit, so that's nice, and didn't get max roll either.
Do you still have a potion left?
I believe I have one, yes. I saved it for this exact purpose.
Good, good.
If I don't, that is unfortunate, but I think I do. Although I can save that menu for, well, after the next fight, where I'll be doing another menu, and hopefully I don't forget anything in that menu. Again, the experience sharing item would be convenient to equip.
Yeah, this is like what Rescue was talking about in terms of like managing and working experience perfectly for the level ups for Espeon and for Typhlosion. Equipping the experience share. You are meant to do it for. Is it this fight or next fight? If you've forgotten or you had experience split.
After this fight, if I have a split experience.
Yeah, after this fight. If you forget to equip it after this fight, then basically it means you're not going to get Psychic when you would want it at the lab later on.
Which is really bad.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, it's recoverable. It's just really annoying.
But luckily, we will not have that issue, right, Spans?
Of course not. Oh.
Oh, that's unlucky. To be fair, that is a... I don't even know what the range is for that, but it's very unlikely.
I feel like it's awful.
Yeah, I never seem to get the Sand Slashes.
Me neither.
Unless I have plus special attack. But luckily, Dig is a very easy move to avoid.
We're going to 26. What is the bite range?
Bite range is 47 to 55.
No, on Typhlosion.
Oh.
Max rolls at 26. Does that actually count me as in range?
Let's see, how much HP are you at?
I'll be going to 26 with Typhlosion because I'm pushing here.
You will be in range, but only to a max roll.
Yeah, so do I go... Which strats do I even go for then? Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, wait, did you equip?
Nope.
You should be in range, yeah.
But I forgot to equip. Can someone... Yeah, I don't actually know how I managed to do this. Okay, let's recover it.
Yeah, there's a way around it, it's fine. Like I said, it's just a bit inconvenient.
Yeah, so just remember to equip after this fight now.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's just losing X special apparently to 1. Oh, well, 1 says apparently. So, yeah, it's just a bit inconvenient and not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. and that was 25 damage, so not dead.
It actually went for the max roll. Okay. Yeah, I just need to remember to equip it now. Okay. I got really put off by that because I mentioned it so much and I talked about it, and then I still made the mistake.
These things happen. There's many times where I've been like, okay, I need to equip it, need to equip it, need to equip it. Oh, okay, I'm done. I forgot again.
Yeah, I do that a lot on my stream too.
Didn't even need to return there, but hey. Okay. Equip it now. At least, if there's some consolation, Geodude is guaranteed.
Woo.
I believe.
Yeah, at 30 it should be. In like, no matter the situation.
Yeah, Geodude is guaranteed. Just need to equip experience right now. Hey, I get to show off the alternative strats, I suppose. I usually reset my runs when I make this mistake, so...
So, remember to equip it now.
I am.
Oh, yeah, the stream's a bit behind, so I can't.
Yeah, it's not behind by that much, I'm watching it.
So yeah, with slightly lower special attacks, this fight is a bit scarier. Where there's, if you're going with the minimum requirements for the special attack for Quilava, you have somewhere like at least a 75% chance to defeat a Geodude, which means there's conversely a 25% chance as the most that you will not defeat a Geodude, which will then cause it to explode or self-destruct, I guess. And that's painful. It just kills your Pokemon.
Yeah, and in Gen 3, self-destruct was actually doing double damage because when it does the damage calculation, it basically is cutting your Pokemon's defense in half. So it's essentially a 500 base power move, which absolutely destroys both of your Pokemon.
And if you choose to continue your run missing that range, you lose a bit over a minute. And usually that's just a dead run, depending on what pace you're on, I guess.
Yeah, there's like strats for if you want to carry the run on, but it's a much longer fight at that point. And if you are going for like a PB, it's just a nice point, I guess, really to end if you're a bit close.
Yep. So the reason, at least, I don't know about anyone else, but the reason I sometimes forget to equip the experience share is I get too preoccupied looking at the ranges for the upcoming fight, because the fight has a few ranges you need to look at. There's a feint attack range on Typhlosion, and there's a bite range on Typhlosion, and you need to look at both of those. Well, usually you only need to look at the bite range, but either way, you usually get a bit preoccupied with doing that, and then you just forget to equip the experiencer, like I did just now. But I mean, I'm happy getting to show off this, I guess, how incompetent I am live.
Yeah, it's a pretty complex route, especially in this section.
Yeah.
So I got camera up lead, which is less common than Golem. I think all my tests have gotten camera up lead. Somehow.
Camera lead, best lead. Marsh Stomp is not fun.
Yet again, this meting, guaranteed with this Typhlosion.
Yeah, so for this fight in particular, it's known what is going to happen, unless like there's some odd situations that pop up. So Metang is always going to Earthquake turn 1, and Camera will always protect turn 1, which is why target the Metang, it wastes that protect. And then, because we've got the range, we can then, if I'm reading this correctly, use the X special glitch on the Espeon while Psybeaming Camera in this case.
What always gets me with these nodes is that they're like designed for Golem lead. So my brain doesn't always process the fact that, oh, Camerupt is out. The notes don't say anything about this, but of course it's just...
Yeah. Again, it is built for Golem because Golem is the one that's meant to be more common. So, I don't know, I feel, on like the limited experience I get to this point, I always feel like I get Camerupt more. It's just odds, it's just how it happens randomly.
Yeah, Marshtomp lead is the only lead that actually changes the strat somewhat, although if Typhlosion is decently fast, you can essentially do the same fight, it's just a couple extra animations. You have to take 2 mud shots instead of 1, so you need a certain speed IV to be faster after 2.
So, if this Entei is fast...
It is not.
Okay.
Spoilers. So this is one of the dangers of taking the low speeds. I do use a pretty low speed thresholds for my Espeon. Well, I use the minimum speed threshold. That is viable for the route, which is 19. And it can get as good as, 31. And so 19 is obviously not optimal, but it makes it way easier to get around, although I get burned by Entei.
All of the extra animation time.
I'll just do the X special here for safety here.
What is interesting though about stats, so we're saying minimum 19 speed. However, the only values that we can get for speed is 19, 23.
Okay.
Okay, everything's...
Yeah,
Is everything good?
Can I reset the console? How do I do this at a marathon?
Alright.
No, I'm gonna save. I'm going to.
It's okay, don't worry. Let's get you.
No. I can send in Meditate and Revive, it's fine, but... Okay.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. When your mind has, like, because there's so much to focus on, these things can ultimately happen, but just reviving, Meditate will faint, so there won't be any split experience, so you still won't have to worry about that. Even, I guess, the split experience actually matters at this point, still. But either way, so we'll be able to just bring Espeon back in. It'll be... Did you heal it to full? No, you didn't. Okay.
I'll do it now.
So yeah, adapting on the fly is one of the major aspects of being able to speedrun Pokemon Colosseum. There's even, again, as I mentioned with one of the first fights with Kale, the strats that even just say adapt. It's one of those things you have to do. So what's just happening here, I assume, with going for the dig is just to deal more damage to the Entei, make it so you only need to set up the 1 X special attack. Or actually probably won't even need to at this point, will you? On the Espeon.
Yeah, should be fine from there.
Yeah. Didn't want to waste the X special when I already had to use an extra one.
Yeah, there's a bit of leeway for the X specials, but it's better if there's a situation like this that happens, it's better to try and avoid using them if possible, just so you don't go too far off.
Sorry about me choking there. I did recover it luckily, but yeah, this game is pretty rough, and when you're doing the mechanics and get things like burn from Fire Blast, and it just catches you off guard. At least for me, when there's already so much to focus on. So I apologize for that, but hey, we keep going. And yep.
We've got a bit of a lull in the game for a little bit, so if there's any donations to read, this is a pretty good time to do it.
Yeah. We have $5.80 from Yuo. He says, "Let's go, Swanus. Woo!"
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm gonna need all the cheering on I can possibly get.
Yes, the next fight, even though it is in a bit, maybe like 10, 12 minutes, something like that, it's another very annoying fight.
Yep.
You could argue one of the worst fights in the run, but
I mean, it's the first fight we get to use everyone's favorite move in. I don't see how it's bad.
Yeah, it's an easy fight as long as you hit the move.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So one of the the move that we're going to be primarily switching to for like when we need to deal a lot of damage is Fire Blast, which if you're not familiar with it, it's an 85% accuracy move, which means it has a 15% chance to miss, though it feels like it's a 15% chance to hit most of the time. So
I've been hitting a lot in practice, but I don't even know if that's a good sign. I'll also be grabbing this neat revive chest here in the back, considering I've had to revive already. Also, you can hear the rumble from my controller, probably. Forgot to turn that off too.
one unfortunate thing that we do miss, because we did, like, because we've gone to the mystery lab first, we're going to be going to jail for a bit just to steal something. But if you go to the jail, before going to the mystery lab, you get a little cutscene that happens with an interesting sound effect and
Unfortunately,
animation.
that cutscene is slow.
So unfortunately, we do not get to see it, but
We do get to rob some acquaintances about
yeah,
that.
we get revenge from earlier because of the stupid Mantai.
Robbing inmates. Why do I feel like there's something wrong about this? Feels bad.
That's fine. Got to progress the game somehow.
Just need to make sure to... Like, I'm extra cautious now not to do dumb stuff. So, that is an optional that you can skip, that train right there. You can actually just walk in a straight line. But again...
Yeah, and it's a train that you do not want to hit. Is it? I haven't actually hit them, but is it something like 4 Pokemon that they have?
It's... you take a death from Typhlosion. It's... sometimes. But actually, it would, like, probably realign my experience curve. I'm not sure, but maybe. I don't know. I haven't looked at the actual experience you get from the fight. I wonder if it would.
Maybe it might, but you still don't want to really do the fight.
Yeah, no. So yeah, this is a little bit of a, again, dead period in the game. There's not much to talk about. I'm going to be grabbing a few potions, watching a few cutscenes, smashing a little bit here and there. Get scammed out of $1,000 for heal, you know, the usual.
We do have one of the best cutscenes coming up, though.
My favorite cutscene is coming up soon. And with my favorite, I mean my least favorite, because it's very awkward. It's not yet, it's the next cutscene we're gonna get to see. We do, however, get to listen to a very cool theme, the Under theme.
Yeah, and like this game has such good music. Like, I mean, a lot, in my opinion, all the Pokemon games do have really good music, but there's some music that you just don't get to hear in some of the other Pokemon games, like styles of music. So whether it's Pyrite Town or like Mirror P is the classic for like these games.
And sadly, this area doesn't even exist in XD, so this is the only game you actually get to hear this particular track.
Extremely unfortunate. What's also unfortunate is that Miracle Bee isn't in the any percent route. Take a detour before Evi's, you know? So this cutscene here is, to me, I don't know, no one else seems to care too much, but this is so awkward. The way they spend like 12 seconds, actually no, it's not that much, but they spent so long just walking into the horizon. They could have just cut the cutscene after the dialogue. And to me, it's just so unpolished for some reason. But hey, I guess that's just this game in a nutshell.
I mean, for 2003, that was probably alright work.
I'm not winning Exalted. I forgot to equip Experience Share. I don't know if you were there then. I also had a really bad Akeem because sometimes my brain works in mysterious ways. But other than that, I'm winning.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what my notes said about the backup XP route, but wasn't there I think there was a chance on the stairwell to use the candies early and then have much easier stairwell fights.
Yep.
Yeah, it's to the second fight. I'll just have a look. I've got the notes up. So.
You just improve the artillery range a lot, I believe. Which is neat.
So yeah, you do it after one of the more interesting text box fights, like after the fact.
You candy after the first fight in
after friend.
stairwell. I'll highlight the text when I get there. So first we just gotta talk to, Silva over here, just instantly getting himself in trouble yet again.
Yeah, how did Silva get here? But then after this is a bit of shopping to do.
And since I'm running on PAL, it looks nice. Because the TMs are actually in order.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, one of the few differences between the PAL version and the North American version is the order of the TMs here. I mean, Reskin, you might be able to point out some of the difference, maybe.
Yeah, it always was really awkward having 10 at the bottom on the other version.
So yeah, got to teach 5 things here. So we're going to teach Hidden Power over Helping Hand. Then we have to teach Protect 3 times to 1 to Typhlosion, 1 to Espeon, 1 to Plusle. And then finally we're going to teach Fire Blast to Typhlosion. Which...
And,
go on.
No, teaching Protect might seem very unintuitive for a Pokemon speedrun, but it's absolutely needed in this run, because it's all double battles, and you'll see me use it pretty soon. And we're also going to teach Protect Plusle.
Yeah, after this point you can just mash A, which is quite nice.
And then there is the move.
Ah, good old Fire Blast.
And we'll be using it very soon.
I mean, it's great if you hit all of your Fire Blast. Big if, but it is.
85% is the same as 100%, right?
100% chance to miss, yes.
Oh boy. Here she comes.
Yeah.
Just remember, power points are not an issue in this fight because you get a free heal afterwards.
Actually, very convenient that you get a free heal here.
Yeah.
Considering the PowerPoint expansion.
We do also pick up 3 rare candies here, which helps out a lot.
And I'll be using them in not too long.
Yeah,
here's Venus.
Yeah, Venus. Good old Venus.
Steelix lead.
Okay, Steelix lead, it's...
Steelix lead is fine.
Yeah, is there really a good lead in this fight?
Yeah.
So, instantly being put into use is Protect for both of them, because Steelix will lead off with Earthquake. And
since it doesn't count its ally as in kill range, it'll still do it, which is very convenient for us.
Yeah, so if, there's, I guess at this, probably been a bit at this point now, but in this fight, it will take into account whether it can kill its own partner Pokemon with, in this case, Earthquake. And if it would, then it won't use that move. It won't use a move that would kill the partner Pokemon.
So on the turns where she doesn't Earthquake, she's focused on Typhlosion, mainly. So she will use a status move or sometimes Rock Slide. And if Typhlosion happened to be female, she could actually use Attract on Typhlosion, which makes things a little awkward. And there's actually backup strats for that. But it's another one of those things you may not always think of in the moment.
Yeah, as well, basically because it's starter Pokemon, Typhlosion, or I guess Cyndaquil if you were to get at that stage of Lava, it's a 1 in 8 chance to be female compared to the 7 in 8 chance it could be to be male. So if you do happen to get...
Okay, that's fine. Is everyone ready for Fire Blast, by the way?
This time.
Just please hit.
Silence for the Fire Blast.
Don't need any silence for it. Also, Vileplume's death animation always makes, or faint animation rather, always makes me think I'm crashed, because it's awkwardly long.
Yeah, it also causes a lot of worry when it's happening. Like, I think it's like confusion is like the longest one, so you're waiting for ages to see whether you're actually going to get hit, like going to hit yourself in confusion or not. It's interesting at times.
Imagine missing
Well
Fire
done.
Blast.
Well done. So at this point, this was a good fight.
Oh, yeah, that's a good fight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
I would
that's
say that's
ideal.
a decent fight.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
ideal.
solid. Very
See?
nice.
Venus isn't an issue if you hit your Fire Blast.
I mean, Venus is easy, right?
Yeah. No one ever has an issue with Venus.
I never always die here.
So, just out of curiosity, how fast is your Typhlosion? IV wise?
IV wise, it was 18.
18, okay.
That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Like in this section, the speed kind of depends on, if you know, like, because we know speed IV kind of determines what we do in the fights. So,
Yeah, there's a few shadow Pokemon, again, random IVs on them, so a certain IV on Typhlosion, you're more likely faster than them, so you would use different strats than if you expected it to be slower.
yeah, this Gligar is the issue in this fight. For that.
Depending on its stats, yeah, I'm not gonna 2-hit KO that. It can do annoying things. Actually got to 2-hit KO, okay, never mind.
Well,
That's really good.
So yeah, this makes this fight. I mean, it's not an issue if it survives. It's just, again, it's just inconvenient.
Yeah, if
Absolutely.
it survives but is in kill range to recoil from Shadow Rush, it's really not bad at all.
Okay.
Also, there's an interesting dialogue choice after this fight, for this particular trainer. Because stealing this from someone else, I think it was Retro Teo who mentioned this. Most of these Pokemon do have fake tears.
Pretty interesting.
Yeah, very interesting to what might be about to be said.
Don't forget to use candies.
Yeah, don't forget that.
Candies.
Candies.
For rare candies. Of exceedingly high quality. I agree with this Ryzigan guy about using rare candies. I don't know where he got this idea from, but seems smart. So let's observe this trainer's behavior after this battle.
It's almost like he's forgotten to equip Share before in his own runs.
Almost like we're all human. Okay, so...
Where?
Just gotta... I'm doing it a bit slowly, because I don't feel confident after my mistakes. Just make sure to, you know, not miss the rare candies somehow. I've never done it, and I don't think I ever will. But it's an insurance policy at a marathon.
Yeah. So,
And
go.
now a couple of things are going to be better. Like this curlier, for example, and an upcoming auxiliary.
This is also another fight where the speed will determine, like, plays a factor into whether we're going to be faster than Stanley or not. In this situation, we're going to be faster with the speed that Spanners has.
Most likely. Right?
Well, it's very likely faster at 13 side V speed, so, as you said, 18 or 19, I think you are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Other than that, there's not really much to mention, so if there's any donations or any messages.
Give it a quick look. We have $20 from Anonymous, who says the best thing about speedrunning is watching your friends have a great time playing their favorite speed games. I know I'm having a great time here. Keep it up, Spanis. You got this.
Thank you so much, anonymous donator. Gonna go for the 5 list here, I think.
Oh.
Wouldn't have needed that. Okay. I hit it anyways, just to flex.
I just throw in an extra fire blast just to watch that.
Good measure.
Confident after the last time at least I saw you run this, but you only missed 2.
Yeah, I did a.
Is it something like 27 fire blasts? I don't know why I think that number off the top of my head, but
Yeah,
It's
well,
a
I
lot.
never do these strats, and you can probably tell that. Because I usually get so tilted that I reset my runs when I forget the quick experience here. Luckily, I cannot really do that now. Which is good
well-
practice.
well, to be fair, you've probably guaranteed the hidden power grass on auxiliary, aren't you? Because you got 70 hidden power, I think.
Yeah, and I also use the candies. So.
Yeah. So normally it's 81% if you at level 42, which with the right experience, if we didn't forget to equip the experience share, that we'd be at level 42 at this point normally.
And this auxiliary is bad because it is Octazuka, which is a water type move, so awful for Typhlosion, and it lowers your accuracy. And when you're trying to hit fire blasts, well, lowering your accuracy is not what you need.
And that's another fire blast here. Yeah, this is like hitting the massacring with fire blast is one of the more important ones, I'd say.
Because it stuns force you.
Yeah, it's just a very slow situation if you miss.
There's another fire blast here.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty
that one
interesting
was a-
AI here. Like if Psybeam does the most damage, like it does in Gator Route, then it will pick Psybeam. Otherwise, it wants to paralyze instead. So it would just click Stun Spore.
Ooh. So yeah, that's
And yeah, paralysis on Espeon is okay as long as it gets through because it paralyzes the Dunsparce with its ability. So you're still going to be faster.
yeah, so that's alright at least.
There are a couple of Dunsparces where this is convenient for. So,
So yeah, if we just manage to hit through this. Oh yeah, of course you're paralyzed, so you're slower.
yeah.
At this point, yeah, you know, got to use a paralyze heal.
It's slow,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're just going to be in a continuous loop of using dig and not being able to try using hidden power.
Yep. Slow but safe. That's the marathon way, right?
Dig should, yeah, okay. Dig takes out.
Yeah.
So, what health is the Espeon on?
Full, I believe.
Alright, so you don't need to heal for the Sneasel range.
Nope.
And then if you were Psybeaming Loudred, that shouldn't be a range either.
Ah, yeah, because of course you're higher level, which is... So you can maybe take that safety chance.
Yeah, you don't always have to Psybeam that, it just depends on the combo.
Okay, yeah, this isn't alright. Oh, actually, yeah, wait. No, this is not a great combo, is it? Oh, it's Sneasel Loudred that's really bad.
Yeah,
right?
this is fine.
You typically expect to have to hit 2 Fire Blasts in this fight.
Bonus crit. Though critical hits in this game do not waste time, which is
Convenient.
cannot be said for Sword Shield, sadly.
I'm content with the amount of Fire Blasts I've hit.
Yeah, you're hitting a good amount of them. I mean, you had the one failure with Piloswine, right? But otherwise, this is still very good. Right, do you know how many Fire Blasts it is that you need to hit in this run?
It varies. I think around 20 to 22 or so is about average, I think.
Okay.
Got the Loudred. It's
So,
like a really good range on this. And
Yeah,
I didn't miss on Sneasel. Nice.
all these Fire Blasts.
Yeah, it's a good move.
So reliable.
Yeah, so reliable. So, I guess if you're having it expected around 20 to 22, you're expected on average, I guess, to miss 3 or something, 3 or 4.
I think
It
it's
doesn't feel like
4.
it. But yeah, so somewhere in that range. And like, even though it never feels like it in the moment, you always feel like you miss every single one. But Barnes is proving that, at least for now, that that's not the case. And it actually is.
Yeah, but it's not really about the amount of Fire Blasts you miss necessarily. Well, obviously it's bad if you miss many, but it's about when you miss them too.
Yeah. Thinking off the top of my head, there's a lot of inconvenient fights, but the one I'm thinking of right now is Venus 2. That's the one where I've been burned a few times.
Venus 2 is fine as long as you can get dig from Rhyhorn. No, Rhydon.
Yeah, right on for reasons I guess we can talk about later because it's not too relevant right now.
No, it's just some AI manipulation stuff.
Zara, that is a terrible but great pun.
Because Spons is on a hot streak. Wait, in what way? Oh, right, never mind.
Yeah. By the way, we're going to have a Michael Bay film. Oh, there we go. It probably happened as I was saying that, but on my screen,
No.
from what I could see,
Your timing was good enough.
good, close enough.
Remembering to pick up the main gate key at least. Something I have yet to forget, but wouldn't be surprised if I forgot it now. So, up now comes a controversial little segment. Jordan, do you think I should take the stairs or do you think I should take the elevator? What will give me the best RNG?
I think you should take the elevator because even though we don't get to hear it, at least Wes and Ruby will get to hear elevator music.
I hear one vote for elevator and one vote for stairs. Always stairs, 2 votes for stairs. We'll take the stairs. But world record doesn't take stairs, so it surely has to be the unoptimal play.
Yeah.
So if you have optimal movement here, stairs actually saves time. I don't have optimal movement, so if we're being realistic, I actually save time by taking the elevator. But I think it's usually good to practice the most optimal way to do something, even if you're not perfected, or if any of your skills aren't perfected at it yet. Although I've been taking
The elevator is a good meme, though, to be fair, because you can potentially leave Rui behind, and it's a little bit silly. Because she just kind of teleports to the top.
There's only one time where you don't want to run away from Rui, and that's where, like you've seen earlier with like the moving platform that took us to
the UFO.
Yeah, the UFO. That's it. We're taking us to Venus, and we use it again later. But if Rui gets trapped there, you have to wait for a decent amount of time until Rui eventually joins you. So it's actually quicker to, if she did happen to get trapped, quickly run back and get her.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an item here that you actually don't pick up on this route, the PP ups, that I actually considered picking up, and I think I will, just for marathon safety. I would obviously never do this again in an actual run, but
you sell them for more calciums.
True. I was about thinking having extra psychics and potentially an extra fire blast is just convenient for PP management in case you get some weird shit happening in round 2. So I did that in my practice run today.
Yeah, or in the final Colosseum as well, being able to have 8 PP compared to 5, you get a bit more leeway there as well.
So these Voltorbs here will actually target Espeon with Spark. They usually do not. My Espeon has really bad special defense.
Will they still at your higher level?
Oh, I actually haven't looked into that. Let's test.
Yeah, still got that Rash, Rash 3 special defense, which is negative special defense nature. Positive special attack.
They will
Let's
not.
find out. Oh, good. It's not a big deal either way. Whether you get hit as well. Nice crit.
So essentially from this point on, I've already been paying a lot of attention to the game, but from lab here, I will be expending a lot of my energy making sure I don't make any mistakes, because this is a pretty complicated segment. So hopefully I won't make any mistakes, but I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I say as I run into a wall.
Knock some sense into words. But it just picks up the elixirs there as well, because similar to the ethers that we picked up earlier, they're going to be needed for managing PP, which we'll be doing in this section as well as later on. Well, just from this moment on now, I guess. And that we're going to be focusing on how many fire blasts and psychics once we get that in particular.
So after the upcoming fight is where I would normally get Psychic.
Yeah, fun
Yeah,
looks of it.
I remember since you're higher level, you can skip setting up to hit the Furret with Psybeam. But depending on the lead combo you get, you might not have to set up here.
Huh. So I just...
I think you might not have to set up here. Just Fire Blast, Apom, and Cast Form.
And then Psybeam the Remoraid, like this.
Yeah, Cast Form might be a range. I can't remember.
Cast form is... I don't remember.
It's been so long since I've done these strats.
It's Apom. This Apom has been tanky in all my runs. Let's see if it is now. It is not. Nice.
Good. Also, there was, from at least what I noticed, there didn't seem to be a disc in this room.
Yeah, there wasn't.
Yeah. Does the disc bases say the same because this is backup save? Is it the same place as before?
It is not, I believe.
Oh, okay.
It is definitely not.
In another fire blast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just have to pay attention to your count on Fire Blast since you typically only use one in this fight.
Yeah. Early ether, maybe?
You do have the PP ups.
That is true. I might actually just expend one in the next menu I do.
I mean, there's a reason not to use all the PP ups. Or do
Could have
you?
taken that DNA sample on the way back.
Typically you pick it up on the way back because of the key that you pick up that's on the desk there. It's just a bit less menuing, but other than that, it's not important.
Okay.
And I don't think you want to leave the share on Espeon for too much longer after this. Just so you don't ruin Typhlosion's nice levels.
Yeah. I'd love to keep it on for an extra fight, but
This is the fight you'd normally keep it on for if you had the experience.
Yeah, if you take it off after this fight, I think you should have Psychic at the end of the Murkrow fight.
Oh, apparently according to what I'm picking up first, it's faster now for the disc. I was not aware.
That's probably because you can avoid the trainer on your way back a little bit more easily than going to...
Oh, okay. So I just know. It's just something I never knew.
lab skip. Yeah, I see you're talking about the lab skip. I've never done that.
Good old lab skip.
And I'm not going to do it now. So I need to keep experience share on for one more fight, right?
I think Reskin says you should be fine to take it off now.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
And again, if you might be a good idea to use the PP.
No, okay, Juan says no. Okay.
Oh, no, okay. Oh no, yeah, take off.
Oh.
I think he meant no for the for what you said, but yeah, the good old lag. Equipment and Twisted Spoon as well, so we can deal as much damage as possible with Espeon. And that's the menu that, at least the way I do it, where we can beat up
Bad.
first.
Corvana does leave. This is... yeah, okay. Not place strats, yeah. Okay.
Wow, Juan doesn't even say your name right. Savanes.
Savageness.
Savageness. No one. My name is essentially impossible to pronounce correctly in English, so... Well, if you're...
I'll be totally brutally honest with you. I thought it was Svanes because I was thinking of a Heart Gold runner with an F, like Svanes, I think.
I mean, it's reasonable. Everyone else thinks that, so... It's, I think it's a reasonable assumption, at least.
Yeah, people used to call you Swains or something, was it right?
Yeah. I mean, it's Svalness, but it's, like, really hard to pronounce. In English properly, so. I'm just holding my breath in these fights because, oh god, do I not want to make more mistakes? I'm already embarrassed enough.
It's fine. It's more
Wow,
comfortable.
wow! I am actually very likely faster here with my speed. Okay.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate.
Random Shadow IVs win again.
Is there a percent for somewhere between 70 and 88?
This Murkrow seems to always give me trouble. Trying to get bested now, though. Oh, no, they're speed side. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Of course.
This run has showcased a lot of interesting things, at least.
Yeah, you gotta get the full, the full experience.
Remember to teach Psychic.
Smash A, all good. It's a true test of RNG. You're not wrong, Exalted. Alright, so what's the next unfortunate fight that's coming up? Actually, we gotta go to this room first to get the, oh, there's a chance that there's not a DNA sample in here, but there was here, in this case, so picking that up. With the DNA samples, there's 3 that you can pick up. If we come across the third one, it's good to pick up, but you can get away with 2, and then just, well, so the DNA samples are to determine what a pin code is for the lab section later on. We can just, there's a choice of 9 different Pokemon it could be, since we know 2 of them, with the 2 discs that we would have. It's just a random pick for the other ones, and with only 7 choices, it's not too bad. So that's the reason why we're picking up these DNA samples.
I just need to regain. I'm like slowly regaining my confidence in my menuing. After that reflect, it just went downhill.
Yeah, we got a true Spanish. Got a true Spanish reflect though.
Yeah.
That's what the fans want.
True. That's why they're here, right?
This is luckily one of the fights where you typically don't have to hit a Fire Blast, although that combo that he got, in order to still 2-turn, you would have to Fire Blast Swablu, but it's fine to just Flame Wheel the incoming Fortress anyway. Swablu usually just goes Safeguard, I think, here.
Yeah, unless you're in kill range.
Just as well, this might be a bit random. Do you have any shifted AI for any fights?
Nope, there is none, I believe.
Good.
Mind explaining shifted AI Rising? If you have time.
Yeah, so depending on the defensive IVs that you have, you also see this in a small way with speed sometimes, but with defenses in particular, since AI is calced based on the highest damage, like whichever target takes more damage, that target for physical moves is usually Espeon, but in certain situations, Typhlosion has such bad defense compared to Espeon that it becomes the target. And if that happens, you hopefully know it ahead of time based on like damage calc spreadsheets and stuff, so you can change your strats accordingly.
One thing that Spanish will need to do with this, like in this section before a specific fight, is before the Remel fight, I guess ideally. He's going to try and get Typhlosion to Blaze once again. Now that
it's a bit tricky.
Yeah, there's 3 fights where you can do it fairly consistently depending on what you plan on doing. First one was are you doing
No,
this
I do
fight?
plan to set it up here, yeah.
Okay, so this is one of the fights. And this is my preference personally. But again, it depends on the situation that you're in. You can also set up on the. There's an early fight with the Magnemite, Magneton, and Electrode. You can set it up there, depending on certain situations. And then there's also a later fight where you can. I don't remember the training name, but he has an Ampharos. That's like the final time.
And the reason I was confident in going for that Psychic even with Twisted Spoon is because, well, I have tested it with this exact Typhlosion, and I know it survives even with Spoon.
Yeah, that is also in the damage calc as well. So
yeah,
not for this fight. It's for no Spoon. So, but you know what's going to happen.
I almost
it was a little bit tricky trying to account for all the different XP routes Typhlosion can be on, because your EVs are different.
Yep.
Hopefully it's accurate enough for most runs at this point.
Yeah. Also picking up the safety full restore, just marathon you may as well. It's not too far out of the way. Even on a normal run, if you've been using a lot of healing items, it's good. Like you'd pick that up.
It's time for another Fire Blast. This one is pretty bad to miss.
Yeah, this is bad to miss, because then you have to set up plays again if you do miss it.
Yeah.
Which, luckily, like I mentioned, there is one more fight you can do that, but ideally you don't want to.
One nice thing about potentially dying here is that you send in Plusle to die, and we want Plusle to be fainted for late game anyway, and we would normally have to do that on the first fight of Tower Colosseum. But if Plusle dies earlier on somewhere, then you don't have to do that, and you just get a faster fight in the tower.
I did hit a Grand Bull here, which is sweet.
This is also a range, is it not?
Not with Fire Blast, it's a range for Psychic.
No, Blaze Fire Blast, it's a 99.1% range.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I remembered both moves being a range, but the Fire Blast and Blaze is significantly better than Psychic.
Yeah, Psychic at level 48 with Spoon is approximately 86%, was it 87? Oh no, Spoon equipped. There's a note like a not in Blaze strat if you want to play a bit safer. Well, that's if you're not in Blaze though. If you're in Blaze, you just go for the Fire Blast and hope.
Yeah. The reason I pick up that full restore in particular, well, obviously because it's safe, but also because I encountered something odd, or not odd, but I made a mistake in round 2.
So,
never mind.
Crocs,
and Crocs Sudowoodo and Sweet Unica.
Yeah, for the DNA. Yeah, for the DNA samples, if you set it to the top one and just mash it, it'll cycle through them automatically.
And since I'm already Blaze here, I don't need to either yet.
Yeah, so what's that? Croconaw, Sudowoodo, Suicune?
Yes.
Right.
Croc Sudowoodo, Suicune. So this is also another fight where you can set up Blaze. I won't have to do that.
Yeah, though there is a chance that, what is it? I think. Oh, I guess you're going to be going for Blaze Fire Blast on the Ampharos.
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh. Huh? Okay.
So, yeah.
This is interesting.
That's never happened before, going for the marathon.
Hell yeah! Discovering new things.
Is it maybe a speed thing for a little...
A combination.
But then again though, this is a decent speed.
A combination of not being 48 and 19 IV speed.
19 IV, yeah.
Alright. That is good to know. Well, as Rezka mentioned earlier, you got Bustle to die.
Yep. Not in Blaze anymore though. And Metatite is going to steal XP.
I mean, are you not going to revive at this point? Try setup?
It splits XP, but I guess.
But I mean, like, if you try to do that and then it lets something take out the Meditite.
Yeah.
So, like, not attacking with SP on this turn. That is a 7-8 range. Oh, 7-16 range, sorry.
At 48, it is.
Oh. Yeah, of course. Just take Type Potion out, not split experience. But then you've got to deal with. I mean, I think at this point, you actually probably could have taken Type Potion out.
Typhlosion would have died there.
Oh, is Ampharos faster as well? Oh, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, interesting with like this. I'm pretty sure this was something we weren't aware of. The Electro being faster than Espeon with the 19 speed.
Yeah, kind of needed a combination of bad factors for that to even come into effect.
Okay.
Thank you for the raised wrist as well. Hello, what's my Colosseum?
Okay. Back to normal. Focus on the video game, I suppose. Sorry again. Some unfortunate circumstances lining up there.
So, after this fight, I assume you're going to be using Ethers on Fire Blast and Psychic?
Yeah, I'll do it, even though I don't need to with the PP helps, just to keep in.
Oh yeah, you're the PP as well, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'll do it just to make sure that I cover my tracks and nothing more weird happens.
I think depending on the leads and AI in the next couple fights, you could potentially get Blaze back for Ein 1 if that was still something you wanted to do, like Blaze strats, but it's not really that big a deal.
Yeah,
Also, at this point, I'm just gonna do Blazeless Ein, I think. I know I can set it up on the Scrub fight, but... Swallow lead.
Blaze is ideal for if you're in like a PB pace, you're trying to, I would say a lot of time. For a marathon, it's not as important, just making sure getting through the fights. If you're not, like, if you're just starting to run the game, just making sure you can get through the fights is the hardest thing, and the thing you should really focus on the most.
Yeah, on the ideal runs, you would keep Blaze from the moment you set it up against the Grow file, actually all the way through Gonzap. And then you would have to heal for the tower. I guess you could technically try Blaze strats for tower, but it's not really that worth it there.
Yeah, and during that time as well, you've got to be hitting every single Fire Blast that you get, which... well, Spana's doing a pretty good job of that, but...
That's the only thing I can take away positive from this run, I suppose.
Yeah, for mere mortals like me, we cannot hit our Fire Blast.
It's been one messy run, but hey, at least it's, I guess, content?
Definitely content.
It is content.
Swallow
I
Fly.
hit the Fire Blast again.
I'll hold the Fire Blast. Aside from one, but we can ignore that. Is it still that only that one? Back at Pilot's Way?
Yep, that's the only one I missed.
Wow.
If you don't count Murkrow, which was flying.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
The speed time Murkrow. God, this run has been weird. At this point, I'm like starting to enjoy how weird and deviant this run has been. Or become,
Yeah.
rather.
It's
not
definitely the most
show-
unique run I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the routing that's been done, there's still so many things that could happen that we just haven't seen yet, I'm sure.
Wait, what? Did I not enter there?
No, it's a Croc, Sudowoodo, Suicune.
Oh, yeah. What? No, okay. Yep. I feel like, I don't know, the mistakes just got to me, and at some point I just started making more and more, but... Okay.
Yeah, when
It's
your
not
mind
properly
goes
done.
off with something that you've never expected, trying to remember the names of 3 Pokemon on top of that is not ideal.
Yeah, no, I feel like this run hasn't been a display of what I can do, but I guess it's fine. As long as I finish and, you know, provide the content.
Yeah, to be fair, even at this rate, you should be still finishing Underestimate by at least
Yeah.
a good amount. So there's not an issue on that end. Part of the
And
reason
it's
why we have to account for slightly longer.
Yeah, and it's all for a good cause.
Yeah,
I'm fine
agreed.
with choking for a good cause. Making a fool of myself live on Twitch.television.
If maybe May wants to talk about the cause, because there's new people that have just come in as well, because there's not really much happening until I.
Yeah, and even Ein is pretty, like, uneventful in many ways.
I would love to talk about it. Velocity Online proceeds the Movember Foundation, which benefits research towards men's mental health and suicide prevention, prostate cancer, and testicular cancer. Since 2003, Movember has funded more than 1,250 men's health projects around the world, challenging the status quo, shaking up men's health research, and transforming the way health services reach and support men.
So, have you guys ever missed fire blasts before?
Why are you hitting all the fire blasts?
I don't know. The game wants to keep me sane. It gives it takes.
So, like a couple of days ago, Spans was doing a race against Retro Tato, with a Palava versus Croc race. And it got to the point, because it was an invalid run for Spans, he was starting to get annoyed about the fact he was hitting all these fire blasts and complaining about how he never gets them on his proper runs. So, are we going to get the same again?
Would be funny. That run went way better. That race went way better than this there. First of all, I remembered to equip the share of experience, which is a good start.
It's a good start.
Golbat Altaria in without Blaze. There we are.
So, whilst Spans looks at the notes, there's 3 different overall situations for how you enter the fight with. So there's Blaze and being faster than Golbat, there is Blaze and being slower than Golbat, and then there's the non-Blaze strats which Spans is using. How difficult was it to route all this racing? And then
It
finally get
took
to
a
the wall?
while. The other thing that came up after the fact, though, is being in range to fly from Altaria, or being in range to double pursuit / ice beam from Altaria.
Toxic.
Toxic from Altaria.
Owl Fully Heal, I suppose?
I've not been in this situation, so I don't know.
Me neither.
This is new.
We're learning so much today. It's a joy. It's truly an honor. It doesn't, like, change much.
This
Yeah,
reminds me of the Mantine randomly using Supersonic, so maybe it's like a... when it can do the same damage with something to each of them.
Possibly. What will it do now? Will it Toxic again? No, now it goes for Ice Beam again.
Oh yeah, it's pretty... Yeah, the one thing about the AI is it's usually consistent in whatever it does at the time.
Usually. Oh What happened? Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh my God.
Ice Beam on Espeon is...
Maybe we should have kept the poison. Because poison would prevent it from being frozen.
Just Flame Wheel Espeon for the meme.
Yeah, that would work. So... Yeah, we'll need a moment for this, because uncharted territory, live. Speaking of like random stuff, there was a time where, so going back to the Mad Time fight, there was a situation where there is a time where it can be expected where we'll use super mimic and stuff, where all target like Umbreon. Once the collab has been fated, if you got like, is it low special defense on the Umbreon, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there was also a time where I had like neutral special defense, like decent, and it was still targeting the Umbreon.
That's a standard call. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Like these types of things do pop up randomly, and you can't. Sometimes you just have to chalk them off in a weird way to like, oh, this is clearly like an extremely niche situation.
Shoutouts to Raikou actually being a range as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the routing is never fully finished for this game, I've come to learn.
It's an eternal project that...
This fight, though, in particular, is definitely one of the weirdest and hardest to route. It's so clean, though, if you go in with Blaze, and it can potentially just be like a 2.5 turn fight.
Yeah, I got that in my testing twice. If only I could perform like I did in my testing, and, you know, not be slow and not get weird niche scenarios I've never seen before.
Yeah. So, with this... Taking this fight out of account, because this was not routed, because who knew this would happen?
I mean,
This
fight...
Yeah. Like, this fight with the known strats is 6 pages, just for all the different potential outcomes. And you get there's a lot of these types of fights, but obviously you don't need to necessarily know all 6 pages of by heart, because I mean, if you did, I'd be very impressed.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what damage spreadsheets are for too, because you definitely kind of want to know how much Altaria does with Blaziken at low health.
Yeah, if you're dead to pursuits, if you're dead to ice, if you're dead to flyer. It's useful knowledge.
Because it's kind of weird, like it calcs damage on fly like normal, but it calcs damage on pursuit based on how much 2 of them do.
It's interesting. Also, we did picked up 2 items there after we defeated Iron. Picking up the data ROM, which we are going to deliver to one of the kids mail. Is it Net? I think it's Net.
I'm not in Blaze, so I'm actually going to take the heal here.
That's a smart idea. You're going to buy some items as well?
Yeah, I'll buy some potions. Safety. Right. And a revive, I think. Or 2.
We did also pick up Earthquake, which is going to be useful in the final section of the run.
Am I still sub to Ryzekin? I wonder. I don't think I am, sadly.
I just got some new emotes. You should.
Oh, I am subbed, actually. I am subbed. But,
being let off.
I reached out on mobile.
Speaking as well of new subs, Spanners also has a new emote, sorry.
I do. And they're very neat.
But yes,
emotes are neat.
Emotes are neat. So yeah, we give the disc to Net. He's going to do smart people things with it.
Unlike me.
What we're going to do, well, we're going to pick up some items.
Try not to lose Rui at the UFO console.
Yes. Yeah, we're going to buy some items for safety. Healing items, and then are you going to pick up some revives as well, I assume?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'll need full heals as well after that last fight.
Yeah, I don't know how many. I'll just spend the rest of my money on hypers here. So.
Yeah. But then, so yeah, So we're gonna do the shopping, and then we're gonna just leave the under, because that's all we only need to give the disc to net.
Yep.
Who's
Now we'll enter the last segment of this video game, which hopefully will go better than everything has went so far.
Yeah, which it should take. Well, from the end of like defeating 9, it typically takes around 45 to 50 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
It's
definitely
something in
okay
that range.
for the estimate. That's not an issue.
Yeah.
I was actually more concerned about being way more ahead.
Yeah, but when unexpected things that have never happened before happen, good to take the time to just make sure we get through it.
Because I've done so much Blaze strats in my most recent runs, and these are all the non-Blaze strats where I've probably looked at less, and so I haven't really routed every single possible strat that can happen.
Yeah, I never do non-Blaze strats either. So,
Yeah. Ideally, if we're going for a PB, we'd be on Blaze strats right now and just having a much nicer.
Praying not to see Lygon Claydol lead.
Yeah, and since my Espeon is level 49, I believe this Claydol is a ranged within power, right? If I get that lead. Do not give it to me. I still don't want it, even though I do get Flygon Claydol, because that is how this run works. It's fine. With,
well, I mean, you could try and get the Claydol to put you in Blaze. At least that's what the notes say you can do.
Yeah, it could use Sunny Day first. I'm really not sure.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
The motto of this run. We'll find out.
So yeah.
It used Earthquake.
Okay.
And that is definitely not Blaze.
Okay. Yeah. At your health, you need 45 to be in Blaze.
The Espeon is indeed adorable, I agree. And there's the Claydol range, so now I might have Flosion instead.
I mean, you never know. It could now. Okay.
Another unfortunate byproduct of missing the XP share equip. Normally you'd get 50 off the first Pokemon in this fight.
Yeah, Claydol isn't even listed as one of the things normally for potential ranges.
Yeah, I don't know if I even caught that range before.
Yeah, it's got Wish Cash and then got Flygon for if you happen to be doing hidden power strats, if you get a runnable hidden power with Typhlosion, which I've never done those.
Of the common mistakes in this game. I remember making a lot of backup strats, but I kind of stopped at making backups for the backups.
Yeah, there is typically there's a limit to how far you really try and you normally try and back up.
You just have to YOLO or try to get back on track however you can. That's another death.
Yeah, that was I guess if it did around 72 before, that was probably going to kill with that half health. Half health. There's a PC around the corner, isn't there? If you wanted to PC heal.
Yeah, there's a PC and a normal healing machine.
Yeah, the normal healing machine probably. Yeah, you don't have to fight for this one. So it might be an idea just to go there. But I think you also bought the extra stuff, so you could be fine. You should be fine actually.
Yeah, I'm fine. I really just wish I got to show off, like, I don't know, not this.
They can always check out your PB and other top runs on the speedrun.com leaderboard.
Check out my co-commentator, Rise Again.
Yes, second
running
one of
your
these water
spell is
race again. Yeah.
I can't actually remember how much blaze I had in my PB. I need to go with time.
How long ago was your PB?
Over a year.
Because it was world record for a good while, I believe. And then Bolton.
And then Bolton.
Yeah, Bolton. Bolton is the runner that we mentioned earlier. He's a Japanese runner who, other than the 100%, because I think
He said 100% is safe.
yeah, it was yeah. He said something along the lines of, "I'm not insane to do it." It was something along that line. So
Everything
basically,
changed when the Bolton Nation attacked, yeah.
yeah, but he's by the name of all the world records, both Japanese and English, and that is arguably one of the most difficult Pokemon speedruns to actually beat now to get the world record.
Yep. Still not above the estimate at least.
He said I'm too crazy at 100% to steal it. Fair enough. Yeah, so next fight, recognizable face figure, face and figure once again, but unfortunately, well, you'll hear it.
Yeah, there's a disappointing, tidbit coming up here. Oh yeah, I also get, actually missed that, I get the exact same fight that I got on the Kim there. That's the exact same fight I get in my PB, funnily enough. And which also loses me a lot of time. It wasn't as bad, but I get the same Typhlosion dying twice fight. I believe, because
Yeah, even on Blaze strats, there are certain combos that can just lose a lot of time, even if you don't miss a range. Like, a lot of fights in general, if you get a certain combo, you just lose 30 seconds, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Hold up, this Colo is apparently it doesn't look too bad as a fight, at least.
No, I agree. Yeah, Psychic Ludicolo.
Yeah, unfortunately, no mirror beefy.
And
Well,
Golduck's gonna surf here, I believe.
What was it? Was it the German name of mirror bee according to Retro? Something like D-Queen, yeah. There's some this game has some very interesting names. I mean, like pointed out earlier with Scrub. Off the top of my head, I mean, just pretty much every train has an interesting name. And you know what? Fair play to the developers.
Let's go, Blaze!
Whoop. There's two fights that possible. You'll probably set up Blaze on this. Oh, never mind, set up Blaze now. But if it wasn't set up on this fight, there is one more fight where we can set Blaze on, set Blaze up on, and it's not too bad of a fight to do it. But from that fight onwards, you do need Blaze for this section, ideally.
I've had to do so many strats. I absolutely never do in this run too.
Good learning experience.
I never do Blazeless here, for example.
Another fight last turn.
I was just thinking to myself, you definitely could have flame wheeled that. God, please let him not miss this blast.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think I have missed. Like, I think I'm not killed with Flame Wheel in Blaze with a louder. I'm not sure, but it was at the back of my mind, so I didn't want to do it. And you know, I trusted my Fire Blast accuracy today.
I mean,
The only thing I can trust today.
when you have
somehow.
100% Fire Blast, you may as well use Fire Blast.
Exactly. I'm cheating.
This is actually a Taz. It's a Taz room.
This is a Taz. Yeah, right.
Luckily, the next two fights are pretty free.
Yeah, and I can set up Blaze here.
Not going to mention the 99% Sunflora range. Just not going to talk about it at all.
Yeah, I just think we should just, you know...
96, actually.
96, okay.
So what happens if a run finishes early? I mean, this won't finish very early. That's for sure.
Actually,
But,
oh, sorry, go on.
I mean, it would catch up with the schedule. I mean, it's going to finish before scheduled time unless I die on Evice for max score.
Don't say the words. don't attempt fate there. To be fair, actually, dying on those two is not too bad because you end up going back to the same fights. It's if you. No, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say anything. But yes, just getting the Pokemon's pain. That's the game. You're in very good Blaze actually right now. Like a nice deep Blaze. Bob.
Yep. It's pretty sweet.
Unfortunately, he's kind of at that awkward health where if you wanted to do a safer strat on the Venus fight coming up, it's not really possible because he's dead to one move but not to the other, so Espeon would get targeted by one, Typhlosion would get targeted by the other.
Unfortunate. I don't think I ever get to do that strat either. Feels like one of those very...
Hope for a good combo.
Venus is actually one of the fight I missed Fire Blast on in practice. Let's see how it goes now.
Luckily, Venus is one of the last fights until Tower where you have to hit an important Fire Blast. And by your special attack IV you mentioned, I think you can Flame Wheel Colosseum easily.
Yep, I can. So that shouldn't be an issue. Just don't make any more mistakes. Finish the run.
Just how many more Psychics do you have? Or like, are you planning to elixir at least a Psychic after this?
I'm just gonna elixir Psychic.
Yeah, you shouldn't need to do the Fire Blast since you got the PP ups, right?
Definitely shouldn't. And it's not like I missed any Fire Blasts.
Yeah, true. It's more of an issue, I guess, if you miss Fire Blast, which... That's legend at this rate. Name will go down in history for the amount of Fire Blasts that you've managed to hit here.
I will go down in history for many things in this run.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, save the VOD of this run somewhere. There's some research things I need to look into.
I mean, yeah, this is definitely an interesting VOD. I'm keeping this. Venus time.
I'm convinced something about your defenses or special defenses made Altaria toxic. I just need to figure out what that was.
Yep, probably. Getting
Sure.
to Flame Gold as Blossom is very nice. Don't need to test my Fire Blast luck even more.
Yeah, Wiggly to Blossom is the worst combination, right?
Yeah, because you get a Wigglytuff range and Blossom range. I guess that's probably the best.
Yeah. Psychic's 75% apparently for that.
Here's a Fire Blast.
Yeah, this was the one that you missed last time, wasn't it?
Yep.
This is the fight where I typically miss a lot in good runs, and then Plusle has to die here.
It hit.
Blue. Nothing's stopping the Fire Blast right now. Yeah, this is
blast
good. Just blast it, yeah. And yeah, like, because you managed to Keyblade as well, it's going to make Iron a lot better, as opposed to if you did miss the Fire Blast, Typhlosion Fading, and then try and set up Blaze once again on Iron 2.
Probably shouldn't have gone for a hidden power range, but hey, I got it.
Hey, you got it, it's fine.
Drag.
Muscle memory for going. I almost always go for that when I have 70. Never punished.
Never punished. Yeah, we can ignore about that. We can ignore that, Jim Freak. We can ignore that for a bit.
The Gardevoir blasts to go, yeah. Crobat Fly range should be okay here, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think where.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Right? With this HP.
To be honest, I'm just trying to find the Grover. There we go.
This is
13
one of the
to
fights where
44, so
Typhlosion
yeah.
could save some time on if it had a good hidden power. Obviously, there's no manip for Typhlosion hidden powers, so if you just happen to get a good one for Rhydon, you can save a lot of time on this fight.
Yeah, I guess we never mentioned that hidden power is actually determined by what IVs you have. I don't know the exact calculations how the game does it on its end, but basically that does play into the Espeon that we have, because so for example we can't actually have a 31 special attack Espeon, which would be allow for for example getting the range on the Ludicolo back at the first Mirror B fight. So we have to settle for 30 special attack and then go settle for specific speed values, and then the other values that they can range to whatever they want.
Can someone explain the special glitch again? Since there are probably a lot of new viewers.
Yeah, so
What that thing?
in this game there was a menuing exploit found where you can basically have one of your Pokemon boost the other one if you first use an item that does nothing on that other Pokemon. And it's really useful for basically the same mechanic that exists in later generations, where you get to boost your partner. It wasn't actually possible under normal circumstances at all in Gen 3, except with this menuing exploit.
Are you not able to just give an experience share to the other Pokemon in XD? Or is that the same situation as this?
Experience share?
No, experience share, X special.
Yeah, no, you can't do this glitch in XD.
Ah,
You can't
fair.
do ball duplication either in XD.
Sad.
That would make 100% in XD a lot nicer if you could.
We don't teach morning sun. It's useless.
Okay, so wait a second. What is my Espeon HP here? I don't actually collect K2 for Quest, right? Yeah, I don't. I have a good quest case, I think.
From what I can see,
Because
you
I'm
have.
dead to both.
You can die to Graveler, but you survive Nuzleaf if you're at full health.
Yeah, but I'm not.
No, but I think, as far as I'm aware, if you're not at full health, it's just a weird situation with the fight, from what I was told.
It's beyond dead to Graveler and Nuzleaf. Isn't that just case 3? Shouldn't I just go for that? Isn't that objectively better than case 2? Or...
I mean...
Yeah, you always go for that if you can, so if you need to heal to full for that, it's definitely worth it.
No, I don't need to heal to full for case 3. Because I'm dead to both. If I don't heal Espeon.
Oh, if you're dead to both, okay, yeah. Because it looks like you could also survive both if you healed to full, and then that's the best case.
Yeah, but then you're risking Graveler potentially killing, because Graveler, at least on my end, from what I'm looking at, can do between 124 and 144, which we have max HP. Should have a max HP of 140.
Yeah, 140, because I'm in the range.
Oh, I didn't put in the HP for SPL.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go for case 3.
Alright, yeah.
Yeah, the HP IV is 10, I think. Well, that's what I have.
Yeah, that's a little lower than the 26 that I have in there right now.
Yeah, just a bit lower.
Oh, yeah.
See, I always thought
case
you had
3
to,
it is.
Yeah, I always thought you had to heal for full to get these cases. Otherwise, it would just do something weird. But
I get to make one good play today, okay?
yeah, so if you can avoid case 2, which would be the situation if we heal to full, that's the worst case.
And case 2 is just awkward.
Yeah, you gotta deal with like fake outs in like Typhlosion, I think it is. Yeah, fake out and Typhlosion. And then you got like protect and
Yeah, the Klest fight is just a really difficult fight to explain.
It's an awkward fight. It's
and
not
I
fun.
often see runs where people heal for safety before the fight and don't realize that they actually put themselves on a worse case than if they had.
That would be me.
One of the few fights I feel like I at least understand. Okay enough. Yes.
It's really unfortunate too, because with better HP, this Espeon could actually survive both Graveler and Nuzleaf, and then that would be the best case scenario, which saves like 11 seconds over the other cases. But as long as they both target the same thing, then it's fine.
Yep, and I also don't have to deal with the return range on Nuzleaf.
Because basically, to sum up sort of how this fight's AI works, they'll always use their fake out move first if they have it, and whoever they target depends on whoever is either in kill range or whoever takes most damage to their strongest move, which for Nuzleaf is self-destruct, for Graveler, or no, for Nuzleaf it's explosion, for Graveler it's self-destruct.
I got tabbed out, 1 second. There we go.
Everything okay?
Yeah. I just done something weird with my profile, my streaming profile, because I swapped to the velocity profile, and this one saves to my SSD, which just ran out of space. So
That's
everything right now is just fantastic, isn't it?
I mean, there'll be the VOD at least, just on Twitch.
Oh yeah, I don't mind. It's just funny.
Yeah. But yeah. Luckily, this fight went exactly. Well, it's going exactly as it should be.
And I'm still in Blaze for Gonzep, which is lovely. Although I will get bad combo, will I not?
Crawdon Hariyama. That's what you did get in practice a couple of days ago.
Yep.
If you wanted to, if you had a small potion left, you could heal out of Shadow Rush range from Skarmory to make it a little safer. Don't know if you used all those though.
I think I know Spanish used one in Mount Battle, but I don't know if that was his last one.
Let's check. Yeah, no potions, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, let's just hope we don't get the bad one then. Right? Personally, I'm going to hope for Pinsir Hariyama, because why not? I don't know if that's... Yeah, Pinsiyama. That's... No particular reason. Any of the other combinations are perfectly fine. Except for Crawdon Hariyama. So... I don't know. I guess I just like Pinsir.
One of the reasons Hidden Power Grass goes in pretty hard is for Crawdons.
Yeah, it should explain as well for Hidden Power Grass. That's only for the Quilava route. If this was the Croconaw route, it'd be Hidden Power Electric we'd be trying to use. So all the different routes, I don't know what Bayleaf has. I'll be honest. I'm not an expert on.
I think Bayleaf had Fire.
Fire. But so yeah, Bayleaf use Fire, and typically the Hidden Power is just to cover any typing that we don't really get on the route. So we don't get grass at all. The grass is useful, so that's like the aim.
Yep. Sorry that I wasn't paying attention there for a second, but I needed to delete something of my SSD because my SSD running low was impacting the performance.
Oh, yeah, that's something that's important. Yeah, good reason, good thing to focus on that more.
Hope you deleted the bad RNG.
Well, I didn't get the bad combo, so...
So yeah, got rid of the bad RNG folder. Shifri Hamiran. Not Pinsir. Things gonna be pretty alright for this, like all consistent at this point. Are you going to go heal after this fight in the to get PP back? Or
you know, I'll actually do I'll go to the PC. I'll actually do that.
Anybody familiar with Croconaw routes Gonzat fight will appreciate how nice this fight is on Typhlosion round.
Yep, this is pretty free. Even if you get the bad combo, it's not the end of the world.
Don't have to take lots of damage, don't have to hit Hyper Beams. Don't even have to hit Fire Blast as long as we're in Blaze.
I've ran this fight Blazeless once and it was an unenjoyable experience.
So yeah, there's gonna be... Well, Steiners is gonna go to the PC to heal. There is a healing machine. Don't use it. I learned. I wasn't aware at the time that PC healing was a thing, so I went and... It's because there's a trainer in front of it and you have to fight them to use the healing machine. So yeah, if you're aware of PC healing in when you're actually doing the run, do that for that particular moment at least.
PC may be slow and clunky, but it's definitely faster than a trainer fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just out here, do you know how many X specials you have?
Enough.
Okay. That's as much as you need then. Yeah, there's also going to be a bit of menuing once we've done the PC heal. It's going to be teaching Earthquake to Typhlosion to teach it over Dig. Dig's not really needed in Earthquake, and it's very useful for a couple of fights. one I'm thinking of in particular is one of the middle fights coming up in this section. And then he's also going to... Oh, he already has moved Puzzle to slot 3, but then he's also going to...
Also save
move
here.
Yeah, gonna move everything around. Good safety save choice as well. Is there a Meganium speedrun? There is. I think you said earlier it's only like 15 minutes slower at this point than the Kulava route, and I guess by that logic maybe around 10 minutes slower than the Croconaut or Alligator route.
Yeah, and at least the way that run is routed, it's pretty safe as well. Could definitely shave off a few minutes with Master Ball skip, for instance.
I'm not used to doing it like this. But here we are.
Are you not gonna bother with healing Puzzle?
I'm going to revive it.
Fair. So yeah, we swap the order of the Pokemon around so it's convenient for a couple of fights in this section coming up, because it's just back to back fights. We can't move the party around or anything. So if we put Puzzle go.
No, so world record has finished now. Well, for 2 minutes ago. And Ryzen finished it in 1 minute.
Yeah, that just shows, for context, how good that world record run is. And also the unfortunate luck that we've had here as well. In terms of, like, just some of the stuff that has happened has been ridiculous.
Yeah, we've seen some impressive bests. Like, it's in theory possible to get sub 325 on English, but it's... Yeah, the RNG variance is ridiculous in this game, and the animations and everything.
Yep.
Yeah. Once the lab skip just do it though.
Skipping the entire lab. Actual lab skip. Be extremely underleveled, but hey.
Yeah, Bayleaf's a bit slower, but due to this game being as broken as it is with the X item glitch and ball duplication, the route's actually pretty nice. Not to toot my own horn or anything.
No, the route is really nice. I've enjoyed learning it and speedrunning it for a while. I'm just mostly, right now, just sad that I don't actually get to show off like the things I've practiced and the muscle memory I've built and all that. But hey, it is expected in a marathon that sometimes things happen. And just all the things that's happened just been catching me off guard, and it got worse and worse and everything just deteriorated. But the route itself is very clean, so thank you a lot for routing this out, Ryzen, I mean.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll actually finish routing this.
One day.
Once we have the other 2 million things that could go wrong that we haven't seen or thought of yet.
We should also point out it's just difficult in its own right to finish this speedrun. It's not like some of the easier Pokemon speedruns. The ones that I typically do, for example. But
nice thing too. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the fact that this is going to be finishing in quite a decent amount under your estimate, even with the fact that you do adjust for a higher estimate for this type of run, is very impressive. And I think Spines still might have a chance to beat my PB. I don't know.
No. But I mean, I'm definitely underestimate.
Yeah.
I could even take a death.
I guess a death in the right spot, but is there a right spot for a death? I don't think there is in general, but you know what I mean. There's a
just don't die on NASCAR.
Yeah.
Oh, is NASCAR part of the back-to-back thing?
If you lose NASCAR, you have to do these 4 fights again as well.
Oh, I thought you just finished after the 4th one, and that NASCAR was its own, and then final one was its own.
NASCAR's awful. Still haven't missed a Fire Blast, well, except for the one. This is getting ridiculous.
It's quite it is being very impressive. How underestimate do you think will be? Will probably be like 15, I think. 15 to
Definitely at least 10.
yeah, definitely 10, maybe 15 to I'm gonna say 15 to 20 personally.
Something like that, yeah.
It depends if we die, but it should be fine.
If I'm fighting the NASCAR, I am not underestimating. Unlikely to wipe the NASCAR, but still.
Yeah, it is unlikely. So we'll say 15 minutes, just as a in the middle of what it could be.
The race I did the other day.
Section of the game though is that unlike the early game where it was kind of alternating AI between random and not random, pretty much all these fights have completely consistent AI that we've seen so far.
So far.
Stun has some like weird AI, right? Or
Yeah, the Kraydilly has some weird AI, but it's at least consistent weird from what
it'll
I've seen.
sludge bomb, I think, until it poisons you, and then it'll. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, to be fair, Kraydilly's not also a big deal for the most part, as far as I'm aware. No, unless it's something that I don't know about.
I got the luck from Iradono, yep, exactly.
Be good
44% range on Houndoom.
Oh yeah, we'll see if there's a range happening, but then if not, it's maybe a bit of time for donations or message.
Yeah, we have one donation. It's from me, so I guess I get to read my own donation. I said I'd donate $5 per missed Fire Blast, but Svanis refuses to miss them. Great run of a nightmare game.
Yep. The one consolidation I have about this run.
It has been truly impressive.
Yeah, I have not seen or ever been this lucky with Fire Blast. It's starting to get late here over in Europe too.
Yeah, it's past midnight for you right now, isn't it? Coming up to 10 past.
Yeah. Can I blame my poor execution on waking up at 5:30 a.m. today?
No, but that's still a terrible. Well, you can, but it's also a terrible decision. I assume it's for studying. So.
Yeah, university, you know.
What's the question? What is the future like? This is possibly where you are now.
The future is awful and miserable. You don't want to come here.
Sounds about right.
So one Fire Blast to hit here.
This is a pretty, well, needed one. Or very, very good one to hit at least.
Yeah, this is one that I commonly miss.
Yeah,
and
me
it's
too.
just infuriating. Well, I mean, it's not infuriating, but it's infuriating. Like.
Too bad. I'm immune to missing moves.
Yeah, fair play. Well done for that, for this one at least. if you don't hit, is it guaranteed that Tropius will fly, or is there a chance that Tropius will fly? Because either way, it's fun for me. I think
Yeah,
both times.
it should typically fly.
Yeah. So that
Or if you're in kill range to Shadow Rush but not fly, it can Shadow Rush.
Okay. So either way, not convenient.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is not convenient to run, but yeah, like if it flies, obviously then you gotta wait a turn for it before you can attack it again. And then if you try and hit it with a Fire Blast and you miss again, it's gonna do the same thing. So it's just an unfortunate cycle.
Okay. So that is now we have NASCAR coming up. Oh boy, do am I?
It's the scariest in terms of time.
Yeah.
So yeah, he gets a free heal after this fight, which means Plusle's going to be back alive. We get to do some interesting things with it.
Plusle
Let's see what combo I get. Now these are the hardest or most complicated fights in the game. There are so many alternative strats and things that this fight and, I mean, potentially an upcoming fight will have.
Yes, these next two fights will cover 16 pages of the notes.
I'll let you guys take the commentary from here for this fight and the next.
Yeah, we'll see the combination first because we don't know anything really until.
Part of the reason the notes take so many pages is because there's 10 different possible combos for this fight and the next one. And on top of that, too, there's a random X item turn that both of these fights can do. And depending on whether it happens early or late, there's some slight changes to the strats you need to do.
I'll be honest, I'm trying to find this. I feel like I've just scrolled past it. What is it?
So yeah, this is kind of the reason we have Plusle out front, too, is it kind of acts like a magnet drawing in the AI's strong moves, so that Espeon can just set up for free.
It is indeed the best soundtrack.
Ah, yes. Such amazing
so
soundtrack
good.
here. There's not a wrong note in this at all. Pure perfection.
Really strains the limits of the GameCube.
So, did you get turn one next special attacks? So I'll be honest, I was looking for the fight in the notes. I was looking for Blaziken Warrain, but it's listed as Warrain Blaziken, so because my brain can't comprehend swapping names to be easier to find it. But so standard fight then, I guess. Well, I mean they're all standard fights in their own way, I guess, but
Two more Cruiser Fire Blast here.
Yeah, we're through the easy part of the fight. Now we got the blasting.
yeah.
I might have crit guard war.
Alright, well that makes things
A little simpler.
just a bit better. Alright, so normally that takes 2 Fire Blasts to kill. Critical hit. It deals double the damage.
Into, like Blaze Flame Wheel range or Earthquake range or something, but yeah, typically 2 Fire Blasts.
Do I target Zadu or?
I would,
You have to gang up on Wall Rain here, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
going on Warrain because Psychic will take the Warrain out and then
Yeah, and then
hopefully
I'm no
Fire
longer
Blast.
attracted, and then the Fire Blast hits. Zadu goes for Confuse Ray, right? When no one's in kill range.
Right.
Sure. I don't know.
It's not really an issue if you're faster than Zatu, though.
No,
As long
no,
as
it's not an issue. Yeah.
But either way, that is still a very nice crit to get on that Gardevoir.
Yep. 0 Fire Blast missed. Well, 1, but yeah. That's pretty hilarious.
Well done on that end.
I had confused Typhlosion enemies. Oh, and then EX specials. What a run.
Wow, that is probably about as nice as that fight can go.
Yep, if I didn't hesitate, because I was thinking about Wolverine. But hey. Didn't expect to get a crit.
Yeah. Clearly this was the big bad guy. You know, look at him. Big bad.
How much did that
guy.
help? The crit was very nice. It doesn't give Gardevoir a turn, and the Gardevoir does not. Or my Typhlosion has good enough special defense to not actually get put in Blaze, which means I can't finish the Gardevoir off with the Flame Wheel. So I would have had to hit an additional Fire Blast if I didn't crit the Gardevoir. Luckily, I did.
Who's this guy?
Oh, it's the nice
the
old mayor.
mayor. Alright, here to arrest the clearly the big bad guy. That's cool.
Whoa. What's this?
What? Oh,
Oh my.
that's
It's like he's the head of Team Cypher all along. And this game does absolutely very little to tease that, except for in the beginning, and he's completely irrelevant for most of the game. Which chances are.
So once again, what is this combination? This is on my show. That not too bad.
Our good friend Scizor.
There's something funny that can happen in this fight. With funny, I mean absolutely dreadful.
We won't mention it until Scizor's dead.
Yeah.
Oh god, I got X attacks turn 1. It says, don't need to send out Umbreon, Men's Ghost is lacking question mark. I love these fights.
Got all of that question mark. I mean, yeah, just so not slacking. Okay. So even within this fight, there's
I would kill slacking personally.
Yeah.
Just don't give it the chance to crit Earthquake.
Yeah, I'm just setting up X special and letting Scizor kill Puzzle.
Yeah.
Yeah, within this fight. So after it being a case of randomly choosing the first two Pokemon sent out, it'll then randomly, or it's not random, I guess. Is it random? However it works, it's basically, there's another choice between two Pokemon they will send out for the third Pokemon. So there's more alternate strats, or there's more different strats for this.
Yeah, certain combos have a consistent switch order. Some are fairly random between whatever's left besides the shadow.
I got Silver Wind Boost!
Alright, so Protect has begun Fire Blast Scizor.
Okay, it's time. This is the Fire Blast Typhlosion. This is it.
This is the last one. Salamence might... We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah, Dragon Danced. I mean, it was going to. It's Typhlosion. Thank you.
Hogs in chat.
And Scizor died, okay. What does Mens do now?
It kills Espeon. So you're probably gonna have to switch out to something.
Could you try the double protect?
We should have sent in Umbreon instead of going straight to Typhlosion after that boost happened. But yeah, it's fine. We can recover.
Do I just stun an Umbreon? Or...
Depending on how many X specials you have, you could just let Espeon die here. Or go for another Protect and hope you get it.
I say go for another Protect.
Go
for that 50-50 play.
But what does Typh even do?
Whatever it wants. Maybe. I don't know. You could try taking, like... I don't know. Just go for it. I mean, worst case scenario, we do come back to this fight.
Switching it out.
I still say go for Protect. Go for the 50-50. Yeah!
I mean, easy range anything?
No critical hit. I mean, I'm watching this bang. I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't make a difference in soaking.
Yeah, I was thinking switch to Umbreon while you protect, but
Yeah.
Blaze.
but yeah, you're fine now because Typhlosion.
Yeah, you can.
protect.
Yeah. So protect with
Wait, what?
Typhlosion.
No, Espeon's, no, Espeon's going to be the target though.
Yep.
Uh,
Send in Umbreon. I can wipe on this fight.
Yeah, as mentioned before, we do get like if we can go back to this fight. We don't.
I think I
Have to
might
go do it.
intentionally do it at this point. Because I'm not
yeah.
sure I'm gonna...
I mean, you have the chance to. No. Yeah, I mean, you could try and recover it because you still technically maybe have a chance. But actually, then you've got to set up all the things.
I'm
Yeah, it
just
might
gonna
be better
activate
to wipe. Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, just yeah.
I have 5x specials.
Yeah, that's fine at least.
This is Nightmare Marathon.
I mean, hey, we've still got to see the 50-50 from Protect, even if it ended up not being the good thing to do. It was still fun to see.
Yep. Goodbye, you guys.
So we lost to the bad guy of like the main boss of Team Cypher. Clearly, that means we never get to. We lost all the Pokemon, now Shadow Pokemon. Bad ending. Nah. Time will be coming.
I wiped, so time's
Yeah.
coming. Not too long.
Yeah, we've got, like, sorry. Yeah, you can
I
use
use
the.
the bathroom too.
Yeah, 6
Yeah,
minutes.
6 minutes. Yeah, at
Okay.
least it's not the whole thing. It's just this fight.
This
We'll
will
happily
happen.
do the as often as we wish.
Now, who's the new combination that's going to get sent out? Oh, is it the same? Oh, it's the same. Okay. Yeah, it's still going to be massively, well, yeah, like solidly invested in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Turn 1 X attacks again. Okay. And literally the same fight. So if I get slacking now, I'm just gonna not get Silver
Yeah.
Wind Boost.
If Silver Wind boost, just go to Umbreon for before Typhlosion.
This puzzle's a Chad now.
I mean, we're going to see more puzzle. Yeah. Like, that's always nice. I mean, mine is better to be fair, but, you know, puzzle is still very solid. It's very good.
Just do not give me Silver Wind Boost again, I beg.
Actually, now that Mensa's out of the way, you might not need to go to Umbreon necessarily. Dragon Dance was really just the one supremely terrible thing.
Yep, it was like the worst possible scenario. So if I get Silver Wind Boost now, I just Fire Blast Azor and Protect Espeon.
Yep.
I didn't get it. Now I don't need to go to Umbreon.
So pretty much GG aside from misclicks,
Yep.
which may or may not have happened in my PB.
Yeah, what did you do again? I remember you talking about it at the end of the run, but I don't
I
remember
was
what the
getting ready to
mistake
use the final X special, and I did it wrong and ended up X specialing Ty.
was.
So I just had to waste a turn and sandstorm animations and all that.
Yeah. Still second place.
Yeah, still like ridiculously good though.
Coming up at the end of the run now, so.
Pokemon speedrun strats always amaze me because they're just what I do but better. Yeah. Like, it always follows like the common idea, but then, like, at least personally, I feel like most people casually don't use X attacks, even though they are ridiculously useful and vital for speedruns.
Who needs to train a full team?
Training a full team is lame.
Yeah, just send out puzzles. Puzzle will guide us to victory. Okay, I saw the start of the animation. Wait, did you go for another fire blast?
So I actually hit all of my fire blast bar 1 in this run.
Yeah,
Pretty unreal.
that must be a new record for you.
Yeah. And that is Evi's. Very depressing run in many ways. But I do hope people enjoyed it at least. It was certainly something.
Knowledge was gained.
Yeah, it was full of content.
I'm just a bit disappointed that it went so much worse than literally everything I've practiced, and that it's very unrepresentative of how I've been playing this game recently. Feel like I've been improving a lot, and really feel I didn't get to show that today. New menus because of everything that's happening just ended up, not being.
Did I miss time?
No, time is after all this cutscene. It's when it first fades to black after seeing.
When it fades to black after.
Yeah. After this, so don't worry, you good. But no, like, gives fans a follow. He is going to probably PB soon. I mean, Colo is still Colo, but he has been playing ridiculously well. This isn't representative of his skill. Maybe of his luck, to be fair, for some of the unlucky stuff that you've had.
Quilava route is definitely a lot harder than Croc route. Croc route's much more beginner friendly. I always recommend starting with that, and then, like, for anybody that's thinking of speedrunning this game, definitely start with Croc so you kind of understand how a lot of the fights work.
Time
how
is just after
works
this.
and all that. You have time up in a second.
So, no, time.
Yep, that was Quilava route for Pokemon Colosseum. My practice, so for record, my practice runs finished about 17 minutes or 16 minutes before this, and the other one finished 12 minutes before this. So this run certainly was something, but I hope it provided some entertainment at least, even if I didn't get to show off the side of this run or the side of my, I guess, execution in this game that I wanted to. I still hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much to Ryzikin and Jordan for coming on. It means a lot, even like that someone as a veteran runner, as good of a runner as Ryzikin is willing to come on and watch me choke in this game for 3 hours and 57 minutes. Thank you so much, Ry. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thanks to Velocity for allowing me on and to showcase this game. Hopefully, I guess, even if it's brutal, and even if I showcased how this game is brutal today and how it punishes you, I still hope people saw that this game absolutely has fun and good sides to it, and I'd absolutely recommend anyone try and pick it up. And as Ryzikin said, the Croc route is much easier, and a lot of people seem to prefer Croc to as a Pokemon in general. So if